You are listening to Guillotines and Guitar, your southern infusion of everything rock and horror, served over lavish libations. Here are your hosts, Carol Gainey, Scott Barfield, and Chris Hicks. Enjoy.
This week's sponsors for the show are Shane's Tire and Towing, #1 in the tire business. With state-of-the-art equipment and alignment machine, Shane's Tire and Towing for all your new and used tire needs. Worth the call. Every time. Call Shane at 843-309-5920. Maryland Fried Chicken of Hartsville. The best shrimp and hush puppies in town. Great restaurant with great service. Fresh marinated chicken with an unbelievable menu. Do yourself a favor and stop by for some goodness. For grading and paving. For all your residential and commercial needs. For grading and clearing, topsoil, sand, clay, gravel and asphalt, give Jeffrey Furr a call today at 843-537-2881. You will be glad you did. Spiro's Wings and Ale. Great food. Live music and a great atmosphere. Food and drink specials with the best service around. Always the place to be with friends, family, or just bring yourself. You deserve it. Thanks to all our sponsors.
And it's Monday night. You know what time it is? It's podcast night. And we got a very, very special guest, Mr. Jonathan Bird from Hartsville, South Carolina. We are so glad to have him on the show tonight.
We are,
Bird
John.
Town, baby. That's where I'm from.
Glad to have you.
Bird Town, baby.
He's using his last name as a stepping stool for something. We don't even have a Bird Town.
I think he was stepping on you with that.
Yeah,
I would like to use
Here
this.
we go with this shit. Can't even.
No,
you'll learn
but
that he's a microphone bully.
I would like to use
40
this moment to say it's John Jon. A lot of people do John, Chris, which is incorrect.
Did I
but
do that?
Yeah, guys
You do
who
it
played
all
in the
the
band
time.
with you for like 10 years
And
and
don't
you
even
never
know
knew
how
how
to
to
spell his
spell my
name.
fucking name. Oh, I'm not supposed to.
Even though I
So was
say,
Joni.
even though I try and correct you every time you do John, I'm like, that's not the way you spell his name.
Well, on Chris's
It's not.
behalf, he don't know how to spell his own name neither.
Touche. That is a good point. He doesn't. So
I did mess up your name. I did go back and look, and I did. I
And,
apologize about that.
John,
it's okay. You've been doing it a long time.
John, we have to watch out for words like touche because we got to keep it on Chris.
Well, so is douche because we got to watch out for the Scott. See what I did right there? Yeah, give me one of them damn. You ain't got that damn machine yet. Damn it, bartender!
I got it. I'm only here for the drink, sorry.
All right, we got our damn bartender, LL Cool Trey in the house.
Yep.
What
Slinging,
can I get for you, stranger?
Trey Davis.
slinging the libations
He
around.
is our libations liaison.
I'll take care of you and your horses.
One sarsaparilla, please.
We're all out.
We got a heck of a show for you tonight. We are, what's our topics? Our topics are guillotines.
Guillotine topic is
This motherfucker.
hey, language, Chris, language, please. Guillotine's topic is
Guillotines.
Thank you. Well, the I is silent. Guillotines.
You sure it ain't tines?
Teens.
It could be
Our-
guillotines.
Yeah, it could be. But it's not.
Guillotines.
Our guillotine's topic is, what is your favorite Stephen King novel or short story that he wrote that was turned into a movie?
That's a good one. I like
It
that.
is
I
a
love
good one.
Stephen
I
King.
think so too.
And our guitar's topics is,
Guitar topics. Do you know what it is?
yeah, what was the most influential bands?
The most what?
The influenza.
Influenza.
The most influential
The sickest.
grunge bands in the grunge era.
Yeah.
It's somewhere around there.
Yep, from the grunge era or the Seattle area.
Just what the hell I said. I said the second.
That is not. You never said Seattle one time.
I know. Well, that's what Chris was talking about. We want to do Seattle bands. I was like, why don't we do grunge era? Because even though grunge originated in Seattle, let's do grunge. And Chris was like, no, I want to do Seattle.
I've got some interesting thoughts on grunge.
Well, you do. Well, we are interested to hear.
Yes,
them,
we
so.
are. We are interested to hear it. So,
What we're going to do is, like always, we have to christen each show with some shots, and I think Mr. Bird has.
I just happened to stumble across these Jello shots as I was walking down the road here.
Yeah.
Tripped over the damn things.
That is awesome.
Wait, let's take those in.
the audacity of somebody leaving these behind.
Look what I just happened to have.
Oh, look at here.
Look at there.
Belvedere's hooking us up. Thank you.
And these must have been from Christmas. We got
Here comes
red
old
cream.
consumed
Look
trick.
at that.
Woo, that was delicious. That was a delicious shot. John Bird does not drink liquor, but for a podcast, I will lick out a Jello shot.
Just like
And
the
that-
old days, boys.
And now we're
Cheers.
doing Jello shots, so it's going to take us a little longer to do them than it does a regular shot.
I bet these microphones are going to catch my tongue going around the bottom.
I need a fart.
That what? Ooh, yeah, I can tell that's
That
Fireball.
son of a gun had some booze in it, buddy.
Yeah.
Ah, damn.
Hey, don't find no more shit on the side of the road, John.
I know. Hey, y'all watch your language.
That son
please.
of a must have had that crystal methacaine in it or something.
Methacaine. Oh, God, I got to steal that with methacaine. Boy, you on that methacaine, boy. That's a Jay Surprise shit right there. You on that methacaine, boy. All them onions surrounding you.
Okay, Carol's over there just
Carol's
Nice.
only done half of it.
No, I've done more than
What'd you
half.
do,
That-
third?
That thing was stout.
You damn right it was.
That methacaine will fight you.
Methacaine.
All right.
Chris, you still want 3?
Shit, no.
Yeah. He says that now. Give him
Hell
about
no.
15 minutes.
So we're going to let John flip this or spin the quarter.
John, you wanna spin the
He ain't got a damn
spin the
choice.
coin to see where we start, either guillotines or guitars.
Yeah, sure.
It's heads or tails.
You can flip it, or you
Flip
can.
it. We're on a
spin-
time limit, remember?
Yep. Do it.
it.
What's it say?
Guillotines.
Guillotines. So we
Oh.
start guillotines.
Guillotines.
Lord,
And we are starting with that.
I'm burning. Who knew a Jello shot? I thought a Jello shot would be nice and cool.
Which one?
I
you
just
have?
got hot. All of a
like
sudden.
me too.
You want that air conditioner now, don't you?
Oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry. Me too. Forgot that I'm supposed to talk real deep and not show where I'm from.
So we usually start with a guess. You want to go first?
Or if you don't want to, we can.
Okay, so what? So you want to know my favorite Stephen King thing?
Your favorite
Okay.
Stephen King.
Well, just be quite honest. Yeah, I'm not a big horror guy like you. I mean, it's just that's my deal. But definitely, I think thought about it and did it. It's got to be The Shining.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's the
That's-
staple right there.
Yep. I mean, for me, that's. I thought about the other ones. Didn't think about the ones that you threw out a minute ago. I was like, dang, we didn't know he did that. But
We even got a
But it's-
Lloyd.
Damn.
It took me a minute to catch on to that.
Me too.
He's on a roll tonight.
Pointing back here. I had to look to see who you
So
were
it's The
pointing at.
Shining. Is
Yeah.
it's kind of based on a true thing. You got a guy going crazy and then killing his whole family and all that stuff. That's a creepy little story.
I remember watching that movie when
Red Rum.
it was on TV. No, it was on, but it was on TV. I was, I think, 12, and this was when my brother Ryan was playing baseball. And he was in All Stars. So my mom had carried him, and they
were
were
home
playing.
alone.
They were playing in Columbia or somewhere. I was home alone, and that movie was on, and so I stopped and I was watching it. And it was a part where the
Bad mistake.
It was where the little boy was riding his
Oh, yeah.
his little tricycle, down the halls. And then when he cuts that one hole,
And then the little twins are sitting there looking at him.
He keeps going down different halls. I'm sitting there thinking, I need to turn this. I need to turn it. And I was like,
bad
but I was
about
like, I want to watch it. I want to watch it. and then he turned. Yeah, those two little
twins
twins
sitting there.
holding hands. When it turned and it come, I jumped up. Went, oh, let me turn the channel. I'll turn it up. I turned it up. It scared the hell
Yeah, I'm
out
telling you,
of
that's a
me.
creepy movie, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was home by myself, and I think that night because I was, my mom was gone with,
That first night she trusted you, what'd you do? You watched The Shining.
and
Smart
I
move.
slept with every light on, and I think I ended up putting cartoons or something to try and get my mind off of it, and that was the only thing I keep thinking of was that scene. I'm like, I guess I'm gonna be staying up all night because I'm not going to
Them
sleep
little
now.
twins is under my bed.
Yeah,
That
but I mean, it was.
what was that scene where he goes in one of the rooms and there's like a bunny or something?
Oh, the bunny going down on the guy or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell was
There
that
was
all
some
about?
strange.
And remember
stuff in
the hot woman in the bathtub that lures him in there and she turns?
Oh, I forgot about that.
there. Yeah.
That was my favorite part.
Yeah, until.
Yeah, but I read where Stephen King he gets like messed up, like drunk when he writes his stories.
You know, the
Oh,
whole,
does it?
Hey,
the whole
hey,
thing about that is you can stay in that motel in Colorado where it's based off. You know,
So
so-
it's in Colorado. I didn't know that.
That's actually, you can stay in that room supposedly. I mean, supposedly, and I'm not a believer in ghosts or nothing, but that's what it's based off that. There was actually a guy that stayed there and like killed his family and
So
all that.
it's still
So is
a
it-
functioning
yeah.
hotel
Oh, yeah,
now?
still a functioning
So
hotel.
it's
So I mean, it's
Oh.
open to
Google
the
it.
public.
It's worth the Google.
It was a functioning hotel when they
when it happened, yeah. I mean,
no,
it's-
but when they made the movie too, right?
Oh,
Then
yeah,
they
yeah.
had to like rent it out or something like that.
and supposedly, well, I know a guy who went there and stayed there. That you can request to stay in that room,
It's
And-
called
and-
the Stanley Hotel.
there you go. And they stayed in the room, and they didn't make it the whole night. They checked out and said it was probably just them thinking.
Well,
And he said, because I mean, it's an old thing, you know. Noises.
I think we should go there, set up for a podcast, and request that Chris stay in that room.
hey, that would be cool to do.
And
I
and we
mean,
record
seriously.
from the room next to that,
Right.
So he's in there by himself.
And
we
let
can-
me
we can
please,
mount-
we
let
can
me
mount
please
the
go there and
cameras.
dress up like a little
Yes.
girl and go down the hall and
We can mount the
I say
cameras.
we do that.
We should. Chris, would you be okay with staying in that room?
Well, hell no.
I'll pay for your room for the night.
I bet you
We'll
would.
be in the adjacent room.
I mean,
Yeah,
all
we'll
you
be
gotta
right
do is
there.
That
Knock
makes me
on the
feel
wall.
so much better. Y'all the last some bitches I want beside me in a type of hotel like that.
Red
With
rum.
y'all's nasty minds.
Red rum.
I'm trying to read. There's a lot of stuff to this.
yeah, I'm telling you, I think it's the best one for me.
Let's
It
see.
is.
That was
it
a
is
good
one.
choice.
I'm gonna have to
It's
sit down
very
and read
good.
all of it. There's a lot of information here.
In other words, he's never going to.
He's not going to stay in that hotel room.
Didn't Stephen King several years ago get hit by a car? He was jogging or something.
Oh, I don't know.
No, I mean,
I think I remember reading that. I guess it's probably been maybe I don't know might have been 10 years ago, but I think he was out jogging and somebody hit him.
I ain't heard of that one.
I think so. I think it was Stephen King.
Then you're wrong. Then you're wrong.
Oh,
Then
man.
you're wrong.
Calling you out.
Might be
You
wrong.
just wrong.
Want to
did
put
Stephen
skin on
King
it.
get hit by a car? Google.
You have to Google
Might
that.
be.
I know the answer. I
You
can
do?
tell you right now, but I ain't
What
gonna
is
tell you.
that?
You do the work.
Don't let Chris.
You don't know.
Chris messes
I
up
paid
on
attention in
Google
school.
sometimes.
Battle of a phone, an iPhone 12 versus an iPhone 13. Which one can Google
He's
faster?
so damn cheap. It's a track phone. He buys minutes. That dude's so damn cheap.
Scott's got one of them H phones, not the iPhone.
Sarah's like, Scott, they got a deal. We don't need a damn iPhone. Shit. You see these track phones right here, you add minutes. I don't like to talk a lot, so I got a lot of minutes. You need to quit talking to me, too.
Oh, Scott, you
Yeah,
got,
it was. It was a lot longer than I thought. It happened in 1999.
damn, Scott.
He was hit and seriously injured by
Pull a hamstring or something.
no, I think it was he was at his summer home and he was out
poor
walking or
bastard.
jogging, and somebody, I guess, run over him.
Probably one of them drunks leaving the country club, had some martinis.
Probably,
Hell yeah.
probably. Which
Drinking,
is why we
drinking
say-
the Bud Lights.
Don't offend our guests.
Hey, I got a question, guys. I don't want to offend him. What do I say to the bartender when I want a beer?
Hey, bartender,
bartender.
Can I get a beer?
Hey, bartender,
Just hold it up and shake it, brother. I'll get it for you.
Can I have a beer there, Mr. Bartender?
He is on point.
Oh, okay. I don't know the rules of conduct here. I've never done this.
We don't have many rules.
Oh, I got. Oh, man, this is service. Do I leave him a tip?
Yeah, he expects tips.
Hey, Trey, don't take any wooden nickels.
This is great. This is a good collaboration right here. God almighty. John, that was a good one, man. That was actually one I thought about doing that one, but that's okay. Let's see what
I thought
Carol
that
got.
that was a good joke, Trey. But are you gonna come out and get that bottle?
Right after the commercial break.
But we don't have commercial breaks.
Shit.
Did the Scott shit. Hey! Hold
This is a good time to, Chris. This is a good.
all this shit right here.
Right when you said the commercial break, now's a good time to mention your sponsor, Shane's Tire. Yogi Bear Chicken, is that one of them?
Yogi Bear.
Shane's Tire, I know, and also the Shrimper. That's not Yogi Bear. Sorry,
What?
Trevor. We meant to say the Shrimper.
Trey developed some AI for us, so when we,
Oh, you're gonna edit that out?
yeah,
I'm with Chris. Though. I mean, what is this? I mean, I
Commercials
thought,
do
this
come in
supposed to
later,
be-
yeah.
I thought this stuff's supposed to be cleared up when we got done with it. I mean,
Let's take a look at my contract before we start talking. I'm making a drink.
All right, Carol, what you got for us? What you got for us?
So, thanks, bartender.
Thank you, bartender.
you earn it, you keep now.
That's right. I'm gonna get what I get paid for. I'm gonna work for it.
Guys like Ralph O'Neal right there, first class.
So I was kind of torn between two of them, and I was going to go with one that we had previously talked about in an earlier episode. Actually, you had talked about it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yep. So I decided to go with the movie Christine with the
He had a car.
Oh, yeah.
with the car because I was going to choose Carrie, but I because we had previously
Stephen
talked
King
about
did Carrie too.
Oh yeah, he did that one too.
Hey,
Not he's done so many.
he drove a
You know what I mean?
1958 Plymouth Fury.
Yep, a Plymouth.
Tell you one thing I think about Carrie though. I remember this is complete divergence. If you go back, I took my kids, and they were like they're probably she's 18 and 15, maybe they were 16 and 10. They were like, we want to watch a scary movie. I was like, oh, I got a good scary movie for you. And I was like,
they probably thought it was stupid.
and I looked at it, it was like Children of the Corn, and I remember I was so terrified of that movie when I watched
Jeremiah.
it. We watched
Malachi.
Malachi.
he wants you too, Malachi. And I kept saying that. And we watched that movie, and they were like, this is like the most fake-looking thing in the world, Dad. And I was like, God, it really is. It's terrible. Why was I scared of this so bad? I mean,
Well, because back in the day,
Yeah.
that was as far as technology.
Technology.
and if you ever watch Carrie again, you're like, this is the fakest looking.
Oh yeah, it's
Godzilla was scary in 1982.
yeah. When you watch it, but when you go back and watch it now, it's like this thing's lame. You know, I mean, because it looks so cheesy and fake. You know, and so kids today.
TikTok, they can see somebody die, really.
Yeah, but I mean, kids today they as far as
Desensitized.
technology has come. They see something like that, they like this. It's so fake looking. It don't even look
Well,
good.
I agreed with him. I was the same thing. I was like, this is not near as scary as I remember it being. So I'm going to leave the rest of those movies alone. I'm not going back.
Oh,
You gonna
well,
remember 'em
to
like
me,
I
they were.
remember like it was when I was scared, like
To
Scott
me-
had left every damn light on in the house.
to
Now,
me, it's still a guilty pleasure. I go back and watch all those movies again, and I watch them, and I'm like, I laugh at them. I'm like, this really is cheesy. It really is stupid. I'm like, but I can't tell you how many times I've gone back and watched like Friday the 13th movies. Even as far as a month ago, I think I watched Friday the 13th Part 6. You know, just because I was like, I want to
you're
watch
about the only person who ever watched Friday the 13th Part 6, I believe.
Part 6 was my favorite one.
What's the plot in that one? He comes back to life
New
again.
blood.
Yeah, he comes back to life.
The same plot that's in every other one.
Yeah.
yeah, same thing. But I mean,
Jason has come back to life.
yeah.
What?
Again.
But I mean, and I watched it, and I was like, I loved every minute. I was like, this is so stupid. stupid. I was like, but it brought me back to, I guess, my child. I guess it's nostalgia type thing, you know.
Well, and
it brought me back, and I was like, I still love this, even though it's so cheesy and stupid. I'm like, I will watch this again in a couple months, you know, and I'm sure I will.
You still watch The Little Rascals?
No,
Three Stooges?
no, I don't.
Seinfeld.
Laverne
I
and
used to
Shirley?
watch the Three Stooges when I was young, but
You still watch Seinfeld, don't you?
yeah, I still watch Seinfeld.
I know
Good
you do
show.
that. Okay, but and I'll preface that statement though by saying this: The Shining still scares the shit out of me when I see that. That thing still. But you know why? What the difference is? That thing's more of like a mental movie. There's not like, I'm gonna chop you up stuff. There's none of that in there. It's all just like, holy shit! I just turned the corner. There's two little creepy ass girls staring at me that aren't supposed to be
Yeah.
here.
Oh, yeah.
That's just spooky no matter what you do.
I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
Go home
Shining?
tonight. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen it. That or what's the one with Jack Nicholson?
That's it.
The
The Shining.
That's the same one. Okay,
Yeah.
I could see both at the same time. Yeah, no, I don't think
It's a.
I've seen clips, you know, and I've seen like, especially over the years, like you always see a little piece pop up here and there, and I know the movie, and I actually didn't know those were two of the same movie.
Yeah, and it's more of a it's a kind of like a study on the mind about
Yeah.
because it's this writer who takes a job to be a caretaker of a hotel in the off season when it's shut down, and so he's there to kind of keep
Right.
up the place or whatever, and he goes crazy, and the hotel is also supposedly haunted or
Haunted,
whatever, so he gets these, you know, sees figures here and there,
You know
talk
the-
to them and all, but it's
Hey, he sits down with a vintage bartender in the bar at one time too.
You know,
How about that?
yeah.
what's that?
There's a scene where he goes into the bar and there's like from the 20s, a bartender's like, "How can I help you, friend?" And he's like,
Oh, yeah?
"It's been a tough day," kind of deal, you know.
How can I help you,
Has on a
friend?
conversation with him, you know.
That's
It's not as good as what can I get for you, stranger?
well, that's next week's catchphrase. No, did you know the connection between The Shining and Toy Story? I feel like you would.
No,
I do not.
Wow, really? Sid's house, his carpet is the same carpet that's in The Shining, the hotel, except for the colors are different.
Really,
what?
Yep.
I did not know.
I've never
that.
seen the Toy Story.
Google it.
The Toy Story.
The Toy Story. That's right. The Toy Story.
Not the
Yeah.
not the Toy Story.
Yeah.
The Toy Story.
Okay.
Scary Sid next door. His carpet is the same carpet design.
No wonder he was
the
scary.
hotel.
How about
There,
that?
there's
That's
a couple
an
other ones
interesting
too. I
fact.
can't remember, but that one's the one that stands out. But yeah, check it out.
So you're talking about Toy Story. 'Cause when Chris said the Toy Story, I thought we were talking about a different movie. So
The Toy Story.
we're talking about the animated.
Buzz and Woody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Buzz and
Okay.
Woody. Yeah.
Oh, that. Yeah, I've seen that.
Well, what were you talking about?
I don't know. I thought it was another
He
scary
was
movie.
thinking about something.
The
off
Toy Story.
Pornhub.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Toy
Yeah.
Story.
The Toy Story.
The little.
Your Pornhub exclusive.
Shut up. Shut the hell up. Whatever.
Not that one. Not that Buzz and Woody.
That was a good one.
Not Beaver and Woody. Oh God.
Anyway, so Carrie for me, you know, no matter what you're doing not Carrie, but
That's what you
Christine.
yeah,
Christine.
Christine. So Carrie is what I was gonna choose, but because we had talked about it previously, Christine.
Christine.
Yep. So no matter what you done to the car or whatever, you know, they set it on fire or whatever, you know, crush it, it comes
The
back to
ending.
life.
Yeah, the ending.
So,
The
When the
damn
radio comes back on.
yeah, when that radio kicks back on and it's,
Yeah.
Was there a Christine too?
That's a cocaine.
was, and
cocaine car.
there was a
That's
Christine,
what the
too.
hell that is.
I don't know if Stephen King had anything to do with that,
Oh.
but there was a Christine too.
did you ever
Really?
watch that?
There is a Christine too.
I don't think I saw that.
Is that like a damn Sharknator or some shit?
Well, I think it was a.
Sharknator.
Yeah. You ain't never heard of that shit? Weird ass
You
scary
talking about
movies.
Sharknado?
Yeah, the tornadoes with the sharks in it.
Greatest
Not the
movie.
Sharknator.
Yeah.
Greatest movie ever made. Greatest series of movies ever made.
Sharknado.
NATO, like it.
It's like a tornado with sharks in it. That's why it's called
Sharknator.
Sharknado. It's not Sharknator.
I'm pretty sure it is Sharknator.
I'm pretty sure it's not. Is that like mashed potatoes?
That's
what
when they-
is that?
Or
That's when they go to the-
red tomatoes.
That's when they go to Nebraska.
I believe y'all picking on my damn southernness.
It's Sharknado.
People like my southernness.
They do.
Well, people know when I say Sharknator. That means a tornado.
A tornado.
Yeah.
Tornado.
There's
Tornado coming through.
Goddamn tornado in Walmart parking lot right now,
That's
boys.
some straight up Pine Ridge shit right here, buddy. Sorry, Carol. I know you're from there now, but I mean,
It's all good.
Yeah, we all are. Most of us.
Better get in the house, kids. That nader's coming.
I hope it's not a Sharknator.
I hope that Sharknator ain't full of them maters. 'Cause
It's gonna tear up the taters.
Better get in the house. The sun will be out soon.
Well,
Oh, my God.
better than later.
Oh my!
So-
All right, we can keep going. We can stop
We
this.
can
train.
go on
We need-
now with this.
We need to stop this train before it derails. Shit.
Oh my God.
So that was my choice, and it was good.
Christine. Yep.
Yep. And so now we're gonna move along to Scott.
Moving along to me. Okay.
Carol just killed all the damn things. He was like, "Yeah, yeah, that's my choice."
No, we can keep right on going with the tornado.
All right. The one I chose is it was a movie that back when I think it come out in 1986. So I was 10 years old, and I think it was a
Damn, you
movie.
old.
I am. When were you born?
1993.
Okay, that's a lot.
He matured in 1993.
He was able to buy beer in 1993, maybe. But the movie I chose was one that me and my brother, I think we watched 1,000 times from 86 to maybe 92.
Floozy Jacuzzi.
It was Maximum Overdrive.
Oh, that was great.
That was
Yeah.
a good movie right there.
Oh, man. We loved it. It was...
Y'all liked it because AC/DC did the soundtrack.
Well,
to it.
yeah, that's one thing. The soundtrack was actually a AC/DC album. You know, it was all AC/DC. But it was. I can remember. It's based off of Stephen King, I think, from a 1973 or 74 short story that he wrote called Trucks, which is basically there's a comet that flies comes close to Earth, and the tail end of it causes, all kind of electrical devices and trucks and cars, everything to come to life.
Drink machine.
The drink machine. That's the one that
the
still
drink
stands with me
machine,
today.
Yeah,
The drink machine.
and I remember at the very beginning, Stephen King has a cameo. He's the one when the movie
A what?
first. Stephen King has a cameo,
Cameo.
which is
That's an appearance.
appearance. Yeah,
Yeah.
a small.
Did you
little
just look
part.
that up on your phone?
No.
Yeah, he did.
We went over this in a previous episode. He didn't know what a cameo was. But anyway, yeah, Stephen King has a cameo where he's at the teller. Remember that? Where he puts his card in and it spits his card back out. He won't take his money. He's got one of these the Bear Bryant hat he used to wear. Bear Bryant,
The houndstooth.
yeah, the houndstooth. Yeah, he had that hat on. He's sitting there. He's got glasses on. He's looking at the thing, and it spits his card back out. He tries to put it back in there and it keeps spitting out. He's like, "Honey, I don't know what's wrong with this machine. It won't take my card." Then it says, "Asshole on the thing." Like, "Honey, this machine just called me an asshole." That's where the movie starts out, and then it goes to the bridge scene. Where there's a bridge over a river, and all the cars are parked on it, of course, and you got the bridge attendees who are in the little house, that they raise the bridge when boats come through. They're sitting there, and all of a sudden the knobs start turning by themselves, and the bridge starts raising. You got all the cars on there, and
Sliding. And
they start sliding down, and you have all kind of shit going on. But I mean, the whole movie I thought it was great. I mean,
it was a good
and
movie.
it's something I've watched.
That's the one with that big old creepy truck with the clown.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
with
that's the
with
main
goblin,
truck. Yeah,
the
that's the
goblin
main
face on
guy.
it.
That's the
yeah.
main. Then you had the
But-
asshole truck with the damn 50 cal on the back. They wanted to
Yeah,
shoot
but
your ass
it
all the
had
time.
like Trey was talking about the vending machine. right after the whole bridge scene, it goes to the baseball field where the kids, and the coach goes to buy all the drinks for them, and it starts spitting the drinks out at them.
Like
hits him in the
gun.
chest, and he falls right down in front of where the drinks come out, and you know what's going to happen because he's like, oh, that shoots that next one out, and hits him right in the head, and you see the imprint of like the can right there.
Killed by a Coke can.
Yeah. But I mean,
I'm going to pee.
it started with,
Here we go. Yeah,
you know,
I knew it wasn't gonna be long. There's the first victim.
It had
Weak ass bladder.
Emilio Estevez starred in the movie.
Emilio who?
Emilio Estevez.
He can't even get out.
He was at that time. He was like one of the
That's
big,
Charlie
big
Estevez's
star,
brother.
Yeah. Charlie Sheen's brother.
Why'd you?
Why is his name is Emilio Estevez?
Because Martin didn't like him.
Yeah, he didn't want to call him Sheen.
You serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, Martin didn't.
He took
Martin
his
didn't like him.
his mother's name.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
that's interesting.
A different mother than Charlie Sheen has, but they got the same dad.
Huh.
But yeah, because at that time Emilio Estevez was a big star.
Oh yeah,
He
was big time.
Well, I think he did Young Guns a year after it. Young Guns come out in '87, I think, didn't it?
Something like that.
Because this movie come out in '86, but it was, I mean, it's still, and it had the AC/DC soundtrack. Everything was, you know.
Did you like it as good as you like Duel?
Like what?
Duel.
Well, I think I liked it better, but Duel still. Have you ever heard of Duel?
No.
The hell is Duel?
It was a movie
Zool.
about. No, it was,
I heard of Zool.
It was about a guy
Gatekeeper.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird movie, but it's still cool. It's about a guy who leaves to go on his job. He goes on a
Jesus, spit it out.
well he I mean,
Did you think this through?
The whole thing takes place where the guy gets dressed. He's going on is it an interview, a job
like
interview,
something like
or he
an
might
interview.
be having a conference somewhere or something. He leaves, and a 18-wheeler.
Dude, I was in that bathroom
Yes.
thinking about that movie. That's
Duel.
yeah, when the old ratting truck and he's got that old dart going up the hill and it's overheating.
Yeah,
Oh, he's like, I can't make it to the top of the hill.
yeah.
He's like sweating bullets and the truck's like way behind him.
That movie.
Then he
was a
gets over the
trip.
top of the hill and that damn 18-wheeler catches momentum. Like, woo,
Did
coming
we?
down. Like, oh,
Yeah.
shit.
You remember the movie store at
That was a
Old
good
Bilo?
movie.
It was.
Yeah.
Me and Ryan. There was one part in that movie. Me and Ryan used to laugh at all the time. It was the camera was set up. There was a curve, and it's quiet. I mean, there's no sound. It's just when he's running from the truck. The truck's chasing him, and then it switches to this scene where you see it's nothing but a curve. You don't see anything, but it's like a desert area, and it's quiet. You don't hear anything. I mean, it's dead silence, and it just shows the scene. And then all of a sudden, you see his car come around the curve, and it's got the white reflector poles up, you know, because it's a sharp curve. And all you hear is it's quiet, and all of a sudden you see the car, and it's like, and we're sliding. Pop, 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 pop. He starts taking out all these poles. Me and Ryan laughed. And we were.
It's like the biggest piece of shit car from the 70s, like a
Yeah.
Dodge Dart or something that he's driving,
But, I mean,
trying to
it
outrun
was-
this fucking 18-wheeler. And I always thought this, because, you know, they probably like totaled, and they were like, we can be buying the cheapest car we can afford. We ain't got much of a
Right.
budget in this movie. We can buy like 5 Dodge Darts. And
That's right. This is not the Dukes of Hazzard.
Because that movie store by the Old Bilo, I remember we rented it from there before.
That's what it was called, Duel.
Duel.
I was literally in the bathroom thinking, what was that movie? Duel.
D-U-E-L.
That was a good movie.
You need
It
to
was.
watch that.
Watch
Chris.
that one too, Trey.
I did-
Yeah, that's another one for
I-
you.
Shining
I
and
do.
Duel.
Check it out. Yeah.
I have to write a list.
Wait a minute.
here.
Whoa. You wasn't kidding about you ain't never seen The Shining?
No, I've never. Well, if I did, it was a long time ago, and I don't remember.
He ain't never seen the Toy Story neither.
That's right. That's right. I had to turn my cookies and history off on my computer.
Go incognito.
I need to get one of those burner laptops to watch that movie.
All right. So mine was Maximum Overdrive.
That was great.
Which I think.
That was
awesome.
good.
But you know
Very
that
entertaining.
that movie was canned by critics. I mean, they hated it, and actually that was Stephen King's his
Biggest.
directorial debut.
Oh, really?
He directed that movie,
that was
and he actually said, I guess because it got such bad reviews, he actually says now he hates the movie.
Grunge killed it.
He said, I hate it.
Nirvana killed that movie.
Whatever it is, but
It was a good
anyway,
movie.
yeah, I still like it. And like I said, I watched it, I think a couple months ago.
You got a
And
lot of
I
time
still-
on your hands watching all these movies.
Right.
They was constantly pumping fuel into them vehicles in their hands.
I guess the
and
damn
twisting
sprayer
them.
drives itself. He's on his iPad every day. Fucking watching
Well, no,
movies
I
while he's
gotta-
out there in the field.
hell.
I got to drop down.
And then you call him, I'm busy.
Movie screen.
That's nice, man. I'm not hating, man.
Got,
You
a, couple,
do- you
got
gotta
a couple of
you really
farmers in
gotta
here. Let
drop
the
that
shit
movie
talking
screen.
start.
You are not shitting me. You got a drop down movie screen in your
Yeah,
damn
fucking
truck.
popcorn maker in the
I got
side
a
holder.
popcorn maker on the side. I do.
Okay, now I see.
What do you
this is.
think he does all day?
Cover up shit to keep from getting fined. He was. Hey, let's go to that. He
Yeah.
was late one night.
My night.
Yep, hit Trace
That was Trey's
first night.
Yeah.
And
All right, we at
First night on
34.
the job.
he
Well,
called us.
Chris, what's yours? You got anything?
Yeah, it's right here. Scott covering up shit.
Okay.
And
Chris
canceled
don't
our
have
iPad.
anything, so we got to move on.
I got one too.
He said we're gonna be late
Hey.
because I gotta cover up manure. They'll find me. I said I didn't. I said you just said this to me. Now I said you said you're covering up shit because somebody will find you. He's like, well, yeah, yeah, it's important. I said, is this a joke? I said, you can just tell us you don't want to come tonight. You ain't got to lie. They will find me. It's just serious. I got to cover up this manure. And I was like, okay.
First of all, I don't sound like that.
I thought it was kind of a good interpret when you get to going.
Yeah, you get shit and goddamn and all kind of shit. You just yeah, oh shit, shit. Hey, you get going.
You know why he does such a good impression? Because it's always about him.
Yeah.
Setting up them damn drums.
Damn,
Shit, Chris.
what the shit? He starts going.
Hey. So anyway,
Chris,
hold on,
yeah,
wait a
what's
minute. Hold on a second, Chris. Hey, Trey, what was yours?
Oh, mine was simple. Just Stand By Me.
Stand by
That I
me.
didn't even know was a Stephen King story.
Me neither.
Stand
until
by
I
me.
look,
I knew that
until
one
I
was
look right
simple.
here.
I had no
Stand
idea.
by Me with Stephen King?
Yeah, I
Yep.
remember that.
1986. So I thought,
Oh, I love that movie.
I feel like somewhere along the line I heard it, knew it, whatever. You know, it was one of those little pieces of information just kind of come and go. You don't think about it anymore. But then tonight, looking over the stuff, I'm like, wait a minute, that was Stephen King that did that.
Yeah,
I
you're
did
exactly
not
right.
know
And,
I remember it.
apparently it was like a piece of a story that went into Shawshank Redemption. It was like somehow
I knew-
related to that.
I knew Shawshank.
Yeah,
I
somehow
didn't know
related to that.
He did
Shawshank,
that.
too.
Now we'll have to let the listeners go back and do the research to find out what that connection is. But there is a connection, story-wise, between Stand By Me and Shawshank Redemption.
Really?
Chris,
think
you
about
need to
it.
do some research.
Think about it.
Stolen money. That's
What
why
was
they
that?
got run over by
What
that
was the
train.
boy's
That's right.
name that he was always?
He didn't accidentally get in front of that train.
That's what I'm thinking.
What was the guy's name with the glasses? Thought he was in a war all the time.
Leroy.
Corey Feldman's character.
Corey Feldman. That's
Yeah.
his character. Yes.
Yeah, I had the luxury when I was 10, 11 years old, and I had bushy hair, of being told that I looked like Corey Feldman. Worst
I thought
moment
you looked like Screech.
when that was later. No, I never looked like Screech. But yeah, I did have that luxury of having people tell me that I look like Corey Feldman. Greatest moment in my life. Highlight. Thank you so much for putting that in my head.
Welcome back.
Oh, there's Scott. We can continue now.
All right.
Did you turn it? Did you sit down? Did you wipe the seat before you sit down?
No, I didn't. I had to sit down.
Or you,
I don't do like you.
You
do.
pop a squat. All right, my turn.
That was good entertainment, Trey. All
Thank
right,
you very
was.
much. Thank you.
That was.
Chris, what you got?
The Mist.
The Mist.
The Mist.
Is that like off
sucks.
that? Is that something out of that?
Shit, that
the-
shit was scary as shit.
Hey.
I watched it today and still scared. Well, they made a remake of it, you know.
Shit, that shit was scary as shit.
Yeah,
That's
scared as
scary.
shit.
Hey, now just to clarify,
Listen,
you talking
You'll
about
get fined if you don't cover that shit up.
Yeah,
Let's-
if you know a word, use it as much as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
So
watch
you
let's
talking
watch
about-
our language.
So you talking about the horror movie or something related to the Toy Story? When you talk about the Mist,
Was you trying to insult me?
No, I
didn't
wasn't
work.
trying to insult you. I'm not trying to. I was just
You
asking
look like
a
an
question.
asshole right now.
I've never heard.
Hey, I'm just asking a question.
I've never heard of The Mist. What's The Mist about?
Oh,
I
let
haven't
me tell
either.
you.
The Mist, it stars
Tell us the
Thomas,
story.
Thomas Jane. You know who that is?
Never heard of him
Look
either.
that shit up.
Did he win an
No,
Oscar?
I've seen The Mist.
But that's yes.
Thomas Jane is the one who played the Punisher with
Yep.
Was he the Punisher?
Yeah, he
Yep.
was the one who John Travolta played in the movie. Did you ever see that, The Punisher?
Yeah,
It was a pretty good movie too.
that was a good movie.
Thomas Jane's a pretty good actor.
So
he played in Did you ever watch Arrested Development with Jason Bateman?
I had a TV show.
Yeah,
Jason
he was in.
Bateman.
Well, he was in one.
Was it a
episode.
serious TV show? Because I don't see Jason Bateman being anything. Serious.
No, it's a comedy.
Well, except
It's kind of dry humor, but it's funny as
except the
hell.
Ozarks. You seen the Ozarks?
Yeah.
Holy shit! You seen the Ozarks? Oh, y'all need to see the Ozarks. With Jason,
I've watched it-
You
watched
wouldn't think
Ozarks.
Jason Bateman could
Again,
do anything real serious.
again. I don't think it's called The Ozarks. I believe it's just called Ozarks.
Yeah.
Why could put,
It's
keep
like,
putting
is that?
the?
Is it also the Yellowstone?
I live at the Pine Ridge. But yes, the Mist.
It's the same thing as like
No,
And
I,
other news.
live tonight. We're doing the Guillotines and Guitars
That's right.
podcast.
no, I do like to go by the Trey Davis. Just let you know.
But the Mist.
That's right. Everybody's thinking about it now.
Really thinking he probably does have that patent somewhere. You probably got it.
I do.
Yeah.
A licensed and registered trademark.
So the Mist. Father and
Obviously,
son.
nobody cares about that movie.
Yep. Yep. I
okay.
just, yep.
I'm going off into a tangent somewhere else.
In other news, that's what we need.
We had 5 people name like movies like, damn, that's a good movie. That's a classic movie. And then you're like, The Mist. And you're like, what the fuck is that?
Scott, did you watch
Here I
that?
go again, dropping the curse words.
Everybody's like, okay, let's move on. What's the next topic?
Did you watch?
Y'all just ain't got no damn.
No, I saw The Mist. I thought it was. I actually
Did
thought
you
it was pretty
watch
good.
it more than once?
I've seen it a couple times.
Okay, because
Did
I
you
was
watch the
thinking you
remake
knew a
of it?
lot about it if you had only.
Did you watch
watched
the
it once.
remake of it?
No, I didn't watch. The
Oh
remake.
my god! You need to watch. It more.
The Mist come out when it come out in like the early 2000s, I think.
It was such a good movie, they had to remake it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, let's do this shit right this time.
2007.
2007 when it came out.
Well, that's
No, I remember it was about just a community where this mist comes.
That sounds scary.
Was it called Pine Ridge?
No, but and I remember that the actor,
Some of that methacaine mist going on.
Oh my god!
the methacane
I
mist.
apologize to all my Pine Ridge people for John's outburst.
Yeah,
That shit funny as hell.
the mist rolls up. The mist rolls up. They hold into this.
And there was a bear in our neighborhood at the time.
The cocaine bear.
Methacaine bear. God, bless. This
Methacane.
show's going off the rails quick.
Methacane. John come up with a new word. I love that word, methacane.
Can we trademark that word? If we,
Oh my God.
can we take that word somewhere? We could do
What's
something
wrong
with that
with him,
word.
sir? He's on that methacaine, sir.
Now, you've heard of cocaine. This
Yeah.
is the methacane.
They bake them together at $3.75 for 2 hours. Comes out fluffy and nice. Methacaine.
Trey, can I get a drink, kind sir?
I'm off.
Okay. When's your break?
Drake,
over?
if you don't mind, can I get one too, please?
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry about Scott right now.
You can fix Carol first, since he said.
But as I was saying, we went off the rails again. After a powerful storm,
Oh, there it was.
and there I was. But David Drayton is the character's name. Him and his boy had a power at their main home. Powerful storm knocked all the power out and stuff, so they went in town to get some supplies. So as they was in there, a thick mist arose, and every time somebody goes out, it was like weird ass creatures out there, like eating people alive.
you don't
and-
see 'em.
You don't see it, but you hear the
You don't see 'em.
screams and
It was if somebody would leave out the door. I mean, it was so thick you couldn't see outside the store they were in. You know.
Yeah, what a good time to go to the store when you can't even see in front of your face.
Well, they were going to
must
get
have really needed
supplies
some
because
toilet paper or something.
they were going to get supplies, and then they were stuck in there, and you would see somebody who would try and leave out the store, and all you would hear is screams, and they would be dragged off. You wouldn't see what it was.
Thank you, sir.
But yeah, so and you didn't know what was doing this at the time. You know, you're watching the movie.
It's
All
very
you know is-
suspenseful.
All you
Oh,
know
yeah,
is
it's-
all you know is
All right, let's
it's
get to it. So what cures the mist?
Well, nothing. It actually.
what cures the
Methacaine.
It actually the end of it is actually a spoiler alert, but it's sad the way it ends
Oh, okay.
because
Little baby dies or something?
No,
well, no, he kills his whole
Kills-
family
yeah.
because they escape in the car, but it's still all these things are.
yep.
He thinks there's no way out,
So he
and he's like,
I'm going to kill everybody but myself.
no, and he was
he tries to kill himself,
He-
but
yeah.
the gun defected or
yeah,
something.
he kills his wife, his kids, because he's like, instead of
getting eaten.
getting, whatever these things are out there, taking my family, I'm going to take them out, and then he's going to kill
And that's
himself.
the end of the movie.
No, it,
Nope.
the gun malfunctions or something. He tries to kill himself. He puts the gun in his mouth after he kills his family. He's crying.
Okay, we got
You
you.
know, it's like he
Oh,
just
yeah,
killed his family.
I'm deep
He
in
puts it in, and it doesn't work, whatever. And then he sees
sees the military.
coming, and
coming
they're
in.
killing all the things out there in the mist. So
Oh,
it's
son of a bitch.
over
What a
with.
terrible
Yep.
decision he made.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. He's like, here he is alive. And he's like, I just killed my whole
Well, did they
family.
did they
And
arrest
now-
him and like put him in jail, prison
well, no,
for murder and
it
shit?
ends like that. It's just-
Yeah.
I'm going to
And then
jail.
you know what? They never made Mist 2.
No, they didn't make
Unless
me
he
so.
had another baby mama somewhere.
Thank you, Trey.
They did make a Mist too, but they just spelled it MISSED.
Missed.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good.
Thank you.
So
See, I
anyway,
think on
yeah,
our
but
page.
I saw it, and I thought it was an okay movie. But I mean,
You and Chris are the only two people in America that thought that. So
Shit.
never heard of it. Never heard of it. Let's move on to the next thing. We've discussed
Can we mute John?
the Mist.
Damn.
The Mist.
Mute
All right.
mute
So-
him his Bogner microphone.
let's all right. So we're gonna move on to our guitar topic. Then.
Well, whatever topics we're
Oh.
gonna move on to, Scott.
What shots are we doing on that next one?
Holy crap!
Well,
yeah, we-
are
we-
you
we-
the
Not
bartender?
one of them Jello shots. I still ain't recovered from that thing. Damn.
He's still on methacaine over there.
I believe them motherfuckers that I tripped over had methacaine in it and dropped it off. I'm feeling funny over here.
Methacaine mist. I meant methacaine mist. I'm not gonna get over that one.
Sounds like some new body spray.
That's when it rains. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So what shots we doing, Trey?
Oh, that's up to you guys. I brought that moonshine again. That's 2 weeks in a row.
Ooh, look, Chris is choking already.
Dude, that's bean. That's straight bean.
That's okay. Put it. Hey, get some of that Amarillo.
Oh yeah.
Hey, get some of that Amarillo and put.
I'll drink it, but God, you gotta warm it. Yeah,
Hey,
give,
you
give
can-
me some armadillo.
Yeah, you can put some armadillo in there and it'll
funny.
sweeten it up for you.
I gave you his.
You gave him my beam.
Pass that armadillo. And the brothers were.
Scott's gonna send you a bill, bartender.
Armadillo.
I'm gonna send Chris one if he drinks it.
They say you mix that and the bean.
Well,
It
you
tastes
can-
just
hey,
like, red stag.
You
Well,
can
that's
tell
what,
us.
That's what red stag is. It's beam and
armadillo.
yeah, armadillo.
Armadillo.
Beam and armadillo mixed together.
I don't want it to taste better. God damn. You gotta warm me before you mess up.
I'm a rookie. I'm a rookie on this side of the bar. I'm better on the other side of the bar.
Yeah, let me know that mix a cup. Damn, I took a big
Are
old
you
gulp
sure
of
you
it.
all right to mix that? Watch it.
Let's take a break while Chris adjusts
Look,
his
I
drink.
knew
He
he
spills it all on the carpet.
on the floor.
Right over the
I knew it.
floor. Way to go,
It
Chris.
still tastes like shit, but I'll drink it.
Oh.
I don't know how you drink that bullshit.
Scott, that man said your alcohol tastes like shit.
Well, if you drink it, I'm charging you for it. You drinking my damn.
Where's it? Give me that little book. he's
Nope.
got. Where's it
Nope.
at?
You already drank some of it. No.
He didn't even bring the book in tonight. He got tired of you throwing it
Hey,
around last
John,
time.
he puts his damn mileage down every time. Well, I drove 3.8 miles. I want 2.89 a gallon. I'd eat
4.2.
God Almighty! All right.
Can't you just count how many podcasts you did, then multiply it times 4.2?
I could, but that wouldn't be any fun.
Okay.
He rounds it off to the next hundreds.
Rounds up.
Well, that's what you do. You round up.
Oh, absolutely. That's what you do with that. Drink
Okay,
Chris
so
is
where are we going
drinking.
on to now?
Moonshine.
No.
So, guitars.
Yep, we got the.
The most influential bands in the grunge
Yep, we still got
era.
to do our shot.
Yeah, we got to do a shot. We got a Chris and.
Okay, I'm going to go to the restroom while y'all do the shot. I ain't drinking that.
Damn you!
You missed my thing. I ain't drinking them. John Bird don't drink no liquor. No.
You ain't drinking.
Hey, we got some
you
Jell-O
eating
shots.
Jell-O.
What?
You eating Jell-O.
Not Jell-O shots. Those were no kind of Jell-O shot I've ever had.
What the hell would you call them then?
Those were
Methacaine.
red colored liquor.
Methacaine.
Get that man some water.
Yeah, round 2, I got you. Whatever you want.
So this
I'm good with doing whatever.
guitars, best bands from the grunge area.
Or yeah,
The most influential bands from the grunge
band.
area.
Yeah, from the grunge era.
Fireball.
Yes, I'm down with that.
Fireball.
So
Carol, you looking up something over there? Or
before we
I
start,
was-
getting your
I got a notification for the front. I was looking.
before
to
we
make
start,
sure,
I'm gonna read some.
make sure somebody wasn't
comments
taking your
here.
tires or nothing.
All right, we got Randy Holloman.
Methacaine.
Good job, guys. You are all doing great. Thank you, Randy. Appreciate that.
Are you live?
Hey, Richard Dwayne Smith, he said, damn. That's a guy. Hey, we'll take that as a compliment.
that was just it.
Thank
damn,
you, Ike.
Damn, that was it.
Yeah,
Damn.
damn.
What was the wrestler who used to say that? Damn.
I don't know.
Oh, y'all don't watch wrestling, do you?
Miss
I
Heather
used to.
Poplar says hi.
Hi.
You should go live and read these. Yeah, we are live. I think we're live.
Thank you, Trey.
Thank you, Trey. We appreciate
This
it.
is Fireball.
It's just Fireball. I got nothing else mixed in it.
You notice how a real bartender mixes, sets your shots up. And they don't kill you.
Yeah. So, these are pussy shots. Pussy.
Pusey.
Gary Pusey.
Pusey. Pusey Busey.
Don't make me tell that story.
Please tell it. I want you to tell it.
Here's a story for you. Imagine getting cussed out and called a name, and you read it and you go, "What the hell is that? I've never heard that word before in my life." And it's not a real word like we discussed earlier.
Yeah, we don't want to.
1:30 in the morning on a weekday. The whole band is sleeping. Here comes a text message to the whole band. "Y'all come party on the porch." A few minutes later, "Come out," whatever. I'll pull the message up right now and look at it. A few minutes later, here's the word. Pusies. Pusey apostrophe S.
I wanted to cuss you out in French. I want to really make it stick. Then what was next?
That was it. Well, the next morning,
Yeah.
I'm hurting, Linda.
I'm hurting, Linda.
God.
And then that night at the show, "We don't need to practice, Randy."
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that.
I wonder how long Chris sat up that night after he typed Pusey.
He probably dropped
He
his
probably
phone.
sat there. He was like, wait to see somebody respond. Nobody responded. He's like,
He was like, "Yeah, they
Actually-
really are a bunch of pusies."
Yeah, I felt good. Nobody. I was like, yeah, them motherfuckers don't want to say nothing now.
Everybody woke up the next morning, looked at their phones, and said, "Oh,
Hate I missed that.
oh." Then I'm hurt, Linda.
All right, where we at? Let's talk some music.
Yeah, let's
Get with it.
Yeah.
Yes, guitar topic. We're doing most influential grunge era band,
John's ready to leave.
and this is
You hear him breathing hard?
he's ready.
this is subjective. It's
Now, when you say
your
grunge
most-
era, is that like that period of
Early
time?
that period of time,
Because the
from
word
90
Seattle was getting thrown around.
Well, that
Hey,
was
hey, that was my point I was going to make.
Chris.
And that's
Got to be clear.
to me, like, and I love them to death. My favorite band. Well, Pearl Jam really wasn't a grunge band. They were basically a hard rock.
Yeah, but they got lumped.
They got
into
lumped into it
grunge.
just because they were from Seattle and came out. Their 10 came out before. Nevermind or not? Yeah, Nevermind did.
10 came out in 91, didn't it?
Yeah, and it came out the same pretty much week, if I remember right, as Nirvana did. And and Nirvana and Pearl Jam, while they came from the same city, are two totally different sounding bands. They each have their own great
Well,
merits, but they don't sound a thing alike. They really don't.
Right.
Well, I know, but I mean, I'm saying that people lump. I don't like the names that people come up with, just like hair metal.
That's what I'm getting at. Pearl Jam was a whole lot was closer to me to a band like maybe not Bon Jovi's Skid Row or something, but they were more of a hard rock band. They were closer akin to one of those hair metal bands than
grunge.
than Nirvana
Yeah,
than they were
but
to Nirvana.
It's I don't know, society or whatever it is lumps. They like to.
Everybody
lump,
likes
they like to lump things
and
in
they
the,
like
in the
you know,
categories.
oh, hair metal suck, blah blah blah. But fuck, Pearl Jam's a hair metal band. Basically, just they wear flannel, and I mean they had a little more better songwriting, I guess, and they had a.
I think if you ask
Well, they
Eddie
lived in
Vedder, I think if you ask Eddie Vedder, you're a hair metal band, I think he would say, hell no.
Oh, yeah.
He hated Motley Crue.
Well, I know. I mean, and I think he
used to-
wrote better songs. I mean, he didn't
He
write
used
about
to- yeah.
girls,
Well,
girls. That
Well,
was him.
and that was one thing he wanted his music to be a little more deeper.
yeah, he
context.
wrote better
You know,
songs that meant something. More.
I remember I saw an interview where he was talking about he worked at this Coliseum doing he worked at the Coliseum. He said Motley Crue came through, and at the time they were like one of the biggest bands. It had girls out, and he said he remembered that song playing, and he was like, I hated it just because it was nothing but it was
sex,
objectifying women, and he was like, that's not what I like. He said he fucking hated it. He didn't like it. He didn't like the band or anything. I mean, so I wouldn't really say Pearl Jam was hair metal. They came out to tail end of hair metal, but they were.
Yeah, and the hair metal. But I mean, there were some bands in there too. That Motley Crue's a bad example because Motley Crue was a hard rock band that kind of got what Motley Crue from 1980 is completely different from what Motley Crue was in 1989 too.
Oh, well,
They sold out completely. They objectified everything and took on the sex, drugs, rock and roll thing.
Oh, well, they did it. They took it to
The early Motley Crue stuff was just a little bit more raunchy, heavy,
and punk.
Yeah, a little bit closer to punk, and then
when Theater of Pain come out, it's where they started getting into more glam
rock stuff. Yeah.
glam looking with wearing the makeup and
Right.
everything, and yeah.
They were closer to
Then-
AC/DC, and then okay, that's a good
And then,
example.
then they went, which they went. I mean, we kind of getting off topic of what our topic is, but
I told you I've been thinking about this thing, man.
yeah,
I'm ready to go.
But then Motley Crue kind of went to the glam area, and then when Girls came out, they went to more kind of street, rock.
Pop. They sold out. I mean, they went more of a that
Yeah, but
pop
I mean,
that
they
everybody.
quit with all the makeup. They went to more leather and
It's fine. I'll drink it.
whatever. But then Pearl Jam came out, and it was all flannel and all. And I can remember Mike Tramp. I saw an interview with him from White Line. The singer from White Line. He said, everything was going good, and White Line was
Trey, will you grab me a beer when you get a chance, brother?
White Line was a band from the early '80s.
Best guitar player from the '80s, Vito Bratta, right there,
Bratta, yeah.
baby. No
you just
doubt.
have-
Oh, thank you,
Chris,
thank you.
did you
Well,
just
we
have to
had
fix Chris another
We
drink?
had on one of our podcasts was about
Nuno.
the best guitar. Well,
Nuno.
Nuno.
Oh yeah, I think Nuno. But Vito was one of my
Vito
top
Bratta
five.
was the one.
But actually,
Nuno.
actually-
Nino.
Actually, Mike Tranter.
Nino, Nano,
I remember Mike
and I don't
Tranter
like my Nino.
I saw an interview. I saw an interview where he was talking
Mexican
about.
America.
He said we
Chris.
Give him another shot.
Do not start that.
I'm sorry, Art. Go ahead.
But anyway,
That's a lot of editing.
I saw an interview with Mike Tranter from White Line where he was talking about, he said everything was going good with our music scene. He said, and he actually says that, he says, and then Kurt Cobain shows up wearing his grandfather's sweater and changed everything, because he was talking about the Smells Like Teen Spirit video,
Oh, but I'm telling you, I will never forget the first time I heard "Smells Like Teen Spirit." You okay over there?
He's having a moment.
I swear he is.
All right, get over it, Chris. Come on.
So anyway, I remember. There's a few things I remember in life about songs and seeing things, and I remember when "Smells Like Teen Spirit" the first time it was showing my age, the video hit on MTV, and I was like, "What the fuck was that?" Whatever it is, I like it a lot. I mean,
I remember
it
when
was
it came out, too.
instantaneous. Like that shit right there.
It was something.
It was like holy shit.
It was something different.
But it was
new
still.
and
I
different.
mean, it was still rock, and
Yeah.
I've always been a rock guy, but it was just like rock that was.
And it wasn't just about like sex and rock and roll. It was just there was
There was
It was
emotion.
like- and it was
It was emotion.
feeling,
And also,
it was raw.
It was deeper with the lyrics. It wasn't about.
Oh, come on. We can't talk about how "Smells Like Teen Spirit" had anything to do with lyrics.
No.
Nobody knew what he was saying.
Well, no,
Dumb as
not
you are.
that. But I'm talking about the whole.
Dumb as you are.
Later on, it
Road
was.
thing.
I mean,
Yeah.
later on the lyrics, but
Sure.
just that "Smells Like Teen Spirit."
Yeah, but
was
with-
just the rawness of it. It was just like
Angst.
it was just like
Yeah,
I'm
but-
mad, and you could feel that some bitch was mad.
But I mean, you had those bands, Soundgarden,
it was not polished at all.
Nirvana.
That's what happened with.
Pearl Jam. You had all of it. It wasn't like the party scene anymore. Where the bands before we had Poison, Motley Crue, all that was sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It was all
those
about having a
bands
good
were
time.
all those bands were fine and well. Poison, and I like all kinds of rock. But what happened is it got so freaking polished. I never forget
Yeah.
that stupid ass hair band. And they were a hair band that came out. What was it? Trickster with the jumping motorcycle. It was like, this is the most gay. Sorry, homosexuals.
You know what stood out for me though was what stood out for me musically.
Carol said that's 30 minutes.
Oh no, Chris. What stood out for me musically, the difference was that we went from, as a guitar player, just coming up into that, just getting into that whole thing, was going from Poison, Motley Crue, all these bands that had all these like amazing solos. Amazing solos to go into a grungy type of music that was angst and was power with your Soundgardens and your
and didn't have solos.
Nirvana.
And they
Not
played
not the power chords.
And they played chords that you were like, what
Yeah,
the
it was-
freaking chord is that? It
wasn't power chords.
It was weird chords that were like,
that didn't seem like they should go together.
Right.
But your solos, the first one that comes to mind is "Smell Like Teen Spirit." Da-da. That was a solo. But yeah, so they didn't have. It wasn't flamboyant. Like it wasn't like in your face. We're amazing musicians. The drums were the biggest thing that stood out as a musician. You were like, "Holy shit, that's a drummer." Everybody else was great drummers, but they didn't stand out the same way. I think they might have been a little overpowered by the flashy guitar players or the flashy hair. Something, you know what I mean? Like to me, that was a difference. The drummers stood out. Later, the guitar players kind of sat back and said, "We'll just do this," and I'm like, "That's really cool."
yeah.
Because that was power, that was angst, that was feeling.
it was the less is more.
Yeah.
type thing. It really
And
was.
it,
Yeah,
it
that's
really
what it
was.
was. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you all of a
Less
sudden went
is
to
more. It
racks
was-
and hanging cymbals to one rack, one,
And that guy
tom.
beating the living shit out the drum still. He would pound up. They were some good drummers.
Yeah. Well, they were still good guitar
And they
players.
were great guitar players.
They're
Mike
still
McCready is still awesome.
Absolutely. Well, shit, Chris Cornell was a great guitar player.
Oh yeah.
Still is. Or, well,
No,
shit. Shit. I mean, you will still say he is.
That's okay. That's okay.
My bad.
That's okay.
Absolutely.
You're a drummer. You can get.
All right, so yeah, I went off topic. So as we're talking about this thing, to me, there's only one band that. I mean, there were several bands that I listened to before because I always liked alternative music. And that's what I liked hair music, but also like alternative. I was a huge Cure fan, and I love the Cult. And the Cult was
Oh, I like the Cult.
Fire.
yeah, I mean,
Fire
I like
Woman.
old-
Oh yeah.
The Cult was that was one band I never figured out why they never made it bigger because they were
Right.
so freaking good, had great records, but they didn't. Other than the guy Ian dressing around that big old headdress that he wore.
The huge hair.
Yeah, do you know Ian actually? He performed with the Doors for several years,
Really?
playing with them.
What?
Yeah, Ian Asbury from the Cult.
Yeah.
He
What?
actually
Singing or
Yeah, singing.
really?
Yeah, that's a singing mofo, brother.
I
Yeah,
know he
he
is,
can- he can
but I just
sing.
can't see him going down to a lower bluesy register and
Oh,
singing with them.
he did a great job too.
Really?
I saw some videos of them playing live. Yet the Doors went back on tour, of course, because they didn't have Jim Morrison, but
Really?
they.
Why didn't they have him?
Sorry, just the way you said that. Shit.
Well, for anybody who doesn't know, Jim Morrison
Okay,
died.
all right, yeah.
Oh,
A long time ago.
that was a tragedy.
Damn it.
overdose and all. But
He's not like buried in Paris or anything, is he?
And
I
Montmartre,
think he might be.
and Montmartre, where you can go in. I laid.
Yeah.
I think I left a quarter on his grave.
But anyway,
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah,
1995.
yeah. The singer for the Cult actually, he did like a number of shows with him, and I remember. I think one of them was taped because I remember watching. I was like,
So how long ago?
he does a good job. I mean, singing the Doors songs.
So how recent was that? Was
No, this was like probably it was in the early 2000s, I think.
yeah, okay.
Might have been like 2000 or might have even been 1999.
Yeah, he's kind. If you think about him singing, I was just thinking, he's got a very.
Yeah,
his voice
he-
is kind of like yours. He's got a very kind of.
kind of deep, and he
deep
has
voice.
he has kind of a bluesy voice.
He really-
anyway. But he actually you need to look it up and
I am because I didn't know that he sang with it.
he did.
I
Yeah.
know his stuff with the Cult really well. I
Yeah.
mean, because he's a great
look
singer.
him
but-
up singing
Yeah.
for the Doors. He actually does a good job. I was actually surprised. I was like, and I'm not a big Doors fan.
I'm either. Hey.
I
I really do.
I-
Never was my cup of tea.
well, it really wasn't mine, but I can appreciate their music and I can listen to it when I hear it. But
I am the Walter Whitney.
No, listen, Roadhouse Blues. Roadhouse Blues, best
Yeah,
Doors song
yeah,
ever.
but
Roadhouse
I-
Blues live. Sorry to cut you
But
off,
I
Scott.
mean, I watched this with Ian singing the songs. I was like, he does a great job, and I'm surprised it didn't. I think it was supposed to be like a one-off type thing.
Yeah.
I think it went so well that they actually did like a
Well, 'cause
kind of
it-
tour.
We can make some money with
With
this.
so many, with so many Doors fans, they had to branch it out. What can I get there for you, stranger?
Yeah, but I
But
mean,
yeah, with so many Doors fans,
it
especially
actually,
right.
check it out. Yeah, look it up and see.
Okay, so
yeah.
the Cult nor the Doors are grunge bands. So
Well, yeah,
Where do we go wrong?
we usually go off the rails a lot,
We do.
and we did now.
I think what I was going to say is like Pearl Jam was really closer to the Cult than any. They really were because the Cult's got some great songs that were written. If you listen to the
I don't
lyrics,
see that. Where do you see? What, it must be a guitar thing. I don't see it.
No, are you thinking more vocally?
I'm thinking just the
lyrically?
the lyric, not lyrically really, because Eddie Vedder's a better song
Composition.
storyteller, but just the whole way the composition,
Composition,
the song,
yeah.
and the sound. It was Pearl Jam's a hard rock band that had a really good lyricist, and
Yeah.
it's kind of unique in a way. Really, I think that's why they've stood the test of time because you're like. That shit rocks, and I was like, but damn, it also gets me in the heart.
Well, didn't
too.
they? But wouldn't they recorded all the music, and then they would send it to Eddie, and he would put the lyrics.
Well, that's what
on
they did.
top of
That's
it?
what they did on the first.
Originally,
album.
yeah.
He was supposed the whole story is he was out surfing,
Yeah.
and wrote 10.
Yeah, I didn't
while he
know
was
if
out there. You know.
I didn't know if
Eddie Surfs.
Yeah, he was from San Diego. Eddie was from San Diego.
look at the guy.
So the whole
Do you know how many albums 10 has sold?
couldn't probably 10 kajillion.
Kakillion.
Is that a new word?
Yeah, that's like more than 10.
John Bird's coming with all kind of words for us to use.
Chris's mind is
Kakillion.
blown.
A kajillion records. Hey, and I tell you what, I probably bought at least 55 of those. I've probably downloaded 10 that many times.
Napster loved him.
How many?
Yeah, I lost them a lot.
I actually looked, how many albums do you think 10 has sold? Though?
I really
mean,
couldn't. I
in-
couldn't. I
In
mean-
reality,
I don't know. I couldn't.
You mean look it up real quick?
I know what it is.
Well, then
Oh, you
tell
already
us.
know?
Yeah, we
He
don't.
knows.
Nobody knows. I mean,
I'm sorry, Google. Go ahead.
It sold about 16 million.
16 million.
that's a great.
It's
record.
one of the
impressive.
top selling albums of all time.
I can see why. It's my favorite record ever. I mean,
I think it's fourth or fifth. Behind I guess Michael Jackson and
that was another
the
thing.
Metallica Black Album sold like
It was,
25
and they happened
million
within
copies.
me being what was I 92. So I was probably 16
25,
years old.
yeah.
No, I was born in 93. I was -1. But I remember in the
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Love you, brother.
so but I remember that was a great. You heard Smells Like Teen Spirit. And you're
That
like,
jealous shot getting to him.
and holy shit! And then right after that, you see a live with Eddie Vedder jumping. I'm like, this is whatever's going on there. I want some of it, And that's
It was something new.
That's the
and it was-
Methacane.
man. They had some super duper Neckocane out there.
Yeah. And I'm one who thinks that music goes in cycles. It always does, And you hear people who say grunge killed off hair metal, whatever. I don't think it did. I just think it was.
It had ran its
It was
course.
time.
I think
Yeah.
it was time.
Yeah, it was. Hair metal kind of started about 82, 83 or whatever. Ran all the way to
It had a good
almost 91.
8 year run. Yeah.
And it was time for something different. I mean, it had run its course. To me, is what I think. But you hear people all the time talking about, grunge killed hair metal. I don't think it did. I just think it was
People
it was
wanted
time for
something fresh.
something new,
Something fresh.
something
And I
different.
still,
And I think you said it earlier when Nirvana came out with Teen Spirit, that single hit. I think that's what brought grunge
to the
light.
forefront. Yeah.
Well, it did.
Yeah.
I mean, it was something that 'cause most people.
I still remember that first time I seen that video.
most people were seeing the flashy bands with the flashy guitars.
Yeah.
The people
And
you
the
could not
flashy
relate
clothes.
to.
And he was
Right,
playing a
yeah.
freaking jazz
And so-
master.
and so
Nobody
now-
played a jazz master. Yeah.
And now
Like,
you
everybody,
see
"A freaking
somebody
jazz master. What'd you buy that at the
who
pawn
is-
shop? And he's like, yeah, I did.
who's not wearing
Now it's
leather, not glammed
yeah, that
up,
was 10
Right.
and everything stripped
They
down.
related
so to, speak.
to a
It's
lot
like,
of people.
This is
out there.
something
Yeah.
Yeah.
totally
I
different.
mean,
something-
even listen to the lyrics. Fuck. I didn't understand
Well,
them, but I was
well,
like,
I know, but when
oh, mosquito! I like that shit. Mosquito.
But that's one thing
Milo
about the whole-
Beano. I was like, yeah.
the whole-
That's what he said. Yeah.
I don't know what the hell that is, but I like it. But I got a libido now.
You had the bands like Pearl Jam and Soundgarden. They were
Ooh, Soundgarden was another one. The Black Hole
Yeah.
Sun with
Yeah,
the.
but to me, Soundgarden was not a grunge band either. They
But
were
they-
Pearl Jam. They were a hard
they
rock
were
band.
Well,
they were
yeah.
singing about
Well,
stuff
still, it was in that era.
But they had great lyrics again.
Yeah.
the video
and it was
fucked me up with the woman with the want to cut
yeah,
the
but
fish
it was
head off, and
the
damn-
songs had a little more substance.
Well, they
to
wrote
them
some. They
with
you
what
know,
they were writing.
I mean, that's what it was.
It wasn't
sex, drugs, rock and roll.
partying and all.
Let me
which is
see
what-
your vagina, lady. I want that.
Here's a piece of bologna.
Well, that goes back to what I was saying too. That with the glam rock, the hair metal, all that kind of stuff was the things that not just as musicians, but as somebody else, you couldn't relate to it quite the same way. If you were a
Nah.
15-year-old kid, 15-year-old boy,
How am I supposed to play freaking White Snake when he's got freaking
Right.
him up there going?
Right.
I'm like,
all that stuff.
I
Yeah,
can
so
play GC and D, and like these motherfuckers play GCD
right,
too.
and then so here comes grunge from a musician's point of view. Here comes grunge. It's like I can play that.
I can play that.
I can't sing like Eddie Vedder or Chris Cornell, but I can play that.
Well, you know what? I think.
But I can also feel that, and I can feel that more. I can relate to that more. Like I said before, I can relate to the grungy stuff when it came
But
out
some
more
of the
than I
stuff,
could.
We got to admit though, some of the grungy stuff was fucking stupid.
what do you got? Well, I think-
Iggy Pop, or whatever.
Okay, well, some of the
Iggy
hair metal
Pop
stuff
is
was
not-
Iggy
stupid.
Pop,
It
yeah,
was.
he was way before grunge.
Yeah,
Iggy
that's-
Pop?
He
Oh,
was
my
a
God.
punk guy. I mean, yeah, that was way
Yeah,
back.
Iggy
when.
Pop was
I'm getting punk
punk,
mixed with.
punk all the way.
I'm getting punk mixed
Candy,
with,
candy, candy. I
grunge.
can't let you go.
Yeah, I'm getting punk mixed with.
Yeah, I
grunge.
mean-
my bad. That was my bad.
Yeah.
Hey, look, we'll edit that out later.
So anyway, I just think
I don't want to look stupid, Carol.
because there were so many, and it was
Leave
kinda,
it.
it happened in
I'll let Trey make
in the
that
mid '80s
decision.
with alternative music when like REM hit. They went.
Ooh, I love REM.
They went to Athens, Georgia, and every band that came out of Athens, Georgia, they were like, "This is great. It's going to be the next REM." And there were a lot of and the B-52s. There was REM. There was
Yeah.
Driving and Crying. You know, I love driving. There were Goo Goo Dolls came out of there.
Oh, you love Cowboy Mouth, don't you? I'm sorry, I had to bring that up. That's off topic. I'm sorry.
Dinosaur
We'll talk
Jr..
about that in a minute. We'll talk.
Dinosaur Jr. is his band.
Dinosaur Jr.'s out of Boston, Massachusetts. I
Massachusetts.
believe. Massachusetts. And really, Dinosaur Jr. is only Jay Mascis.
So, can you tell me right now, what was the most influential guitar that was played at that time, the grunge come out?
Like model?
Yep.
Oh, I don't know, because they all.
They was all going to the Fenders. And
Well,
the-
yeah, they ended all the pointy guitars. That's what killed Kramer and Ibanez. and
Yeah.
They went back to Gibson. I mean, McCready and all them. Stone Gossard played a Les Paul.
Yeah,
They played.
Les Paul
Yes,
was-
sir.
Mike
Picked
McCready
back
played.
up.
The cool thing about Mike McCready, and he didn't do it obviously when he was young because he couldn't afford it. But he was born in 1956, and the only guitars he plays now are 1956 Stratocasters.
I got a 1976 Gibson Les Paul at the house.
And
he fixed it twice.
And he,
No, not that one.
Oh, it ain't that one.
No,
and they
That's
pretty much
67.
played.
it's 18.
They played Strats and Gibsons, and Cobain played a Jazzmaster.
Yep.
So I think they just went back to the basics. Basically, I think they took everything back to the
It was
basics. They
just
still
one-
played a
It
Marshall.
was just one
Yeah.
pickup.
I mean,
But you also saw it was two pickups. But
There
you
was
also
two
never
pickups?
saw him flipping switches. He had a setting,
yeah.
and I feel like that was it. I've never seen a video
Yeah,
ever.
because the Jazzmaster's got like 20 different clicks on it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like all the different frequencies, phase converters, and all that. I never saw him once flip a switch. I've seen him press stomp pedals. I never saw him flip
Yeah,
a switch.
flip a switch on
It's
that.
interesting. That's some good stuff right there.
Yeah, Jay Mascis he actually has a signature Jazzmaster. He played
Who?
Dinosaur Jr.'s guy.
Oh.
He has a signature Jazzmaster.
Dinosaur who?
You
It's
wanna
the
check
junior.
on
It
that?
ain't the
Junior.
senior.
They are not
It's the
grunge.
junior.
They are not grunge. They are a weird alternative band.
Dinosaur Senior's down at the museum.
So anyway, we're talking about it. So I think if you knowing the history of Seattle and the grunge, I'm going to try to pull us back on topic.
Good luck.
No, so really,
Smart move.
really,
Go ahead.
in my opinion, Nirvana was really the only grunge band that really made it. Now
I
there were
agree
other
with you.
ones. Mudhoney came out. They were a little bit before then. There was
I got Mudhoney on here.
No
Mother
idea.
Love Bone.
Mother Love Bone
Shit,
was
you
before then.
Mother Love Bone. There you go.
But they weren't- they
that
were-
was-
Hey, Thunder Pussy.
That was Andy Wood who
Yeah, who died? Yeah.
Thunder-
who
Pussy?
died, and a lot of people don't know.
I just
who
like
he
saying
is.
it. Thunder Pussy.
You know that
He influenced most of
Pussy.
Pearl Jam, Stone Gossard,
Pussy.
and what's the bass player's name? They were in Mother Love Bone.
Jeff.
Ament.
Jeff Ament. Yeah,
Amen. Is it Amen?
Ament or
I think it's
Ament?
Ament.
I don't know.
I've never met him. So I never,
AMENT is all I know, but
I don't
Jeff-
have a good
Jeff-
relation. I don't have a good relationship like I do
I
with
know.
Chris, where I can spell his name right
Well,
and shit.
if
How about the Grave Babies?
Jeff
You ever heard of the
listens,
Grave
then he
Babies?
can-
Jahan.
No, I have not.
Jahan.
We got all.
So
kinds of
anyway,
shit here.
but Gossard and Ament were in Mother Love Bone, and that's what killed them. They broke it
the
up. And that's
Cave
when
Singers, the
they had
Classic
done it.
Crime, Demon Hunter,
Green River.
Bell
Green
Witch.
River was another band that was, and really I think so. If Stone Gossard, who's the rhythm guitar player, really he does play some lead. He was one of the fathers of grunge too, because he was in that scene. And like I said, Eddie Vedder was in San Diego. He was completely out of it. Jeff Ament was in that scene. Those were the two guys that were in the scene. That's the backbone of Pearl Jam that came from Green River, came through Mother Love Bone. Mike McCready was actually, and you can tell it in his guitar playing, he was a hair metal guitar player.
He's actually I saw an interview with him where he was talking about because like I said, there was an interview with Eddie Vedder talking about how he hated
Yeah.
girls, Motley Crue. When he heard it, it was just like he
Said there was dinosaurs.
He was just like, it wasn't this isn't my thing. I don't like
Right.
this at all. And yeah,
Mike McCready loved
Mike
it.
McCready,
Hard rock
he
guy
come
all
out
the way.
with an interview after that and said, I'm
That's my idols when I was
I'm
coming up.
totally opposite. Motley Crue, I loved them growing up. I loved all their music.
And I can't remember the band he was in. He was from Tacoma, Washington, which obviously is not far. But somehow Stone Gossard, and I guess after Mother Love Bone died, and they took the little year off, and they wrote that record. What's the one with Cornell and Eddie Vedder sing on? What's that little band?
Temple of the
Temple
Dog.
of the Dog. That's all about Andy Wood. That whole record was written because they all knew him.
Yeah.
And the neat thing is that the weekend, they sent. So anyway, I don't know how they found Mike McCready. Knew like this. We got us a gunslinger guitar player who can play anything. We got us. We need a singer, so they sent Eddie Vedder the tracks that they had recorded, and so they everybody's wondering what this is. It's not me, I don't think.
No,
There
it's
we go.
good.
We
It's good.
So anyway, they sent Eddie Vedder the tracks, and supposedly the story is he says he was on his surfboard out there floating around and wrote all the things in his head and went back and scratched them down and sent them back to him, and they were like, "Come up here and let's meet you now." I mean, they somehow, and when they brought him up, they heard him sing, and they were recording Temple of the Dog that week and said, "Will you sing on this record?" So that's the first time he ever sang on a record with them.
So that was the first time Eddie Vedder.
Yeah, the first
Oh,
first
wow,
weekend he
that's-
was ever there.
That's some good stuff, right?
Yeah,
there. Holy shit.
Yeah, and he sang. It was him and Chris Cornell, singing because they knew that you hear Eddie Vedder singing. I've had this conversation with many people. He's probably one of the most copied singers with, but he's the motherfucker who did that. He just did it originally,
Have you heard? Well, I'm sure you have. Love Rain on Me.
Yeah.
Jesus, the first time I heard that, the live thing, I don't remember what award show it was, when Pearl Jam did Love Rain on Me by The Who, and he went, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
That
he's a wonderful singer, but he's got
I
his
watched
own
that on
style.
YouTube 100 times, so all the 100 views of the 3 billion
Anybody
you
who
see.
can sing on a record with Chris Cornell and hold his own, you're like, man, that guy can sing,
Yeah, I never
Oh
got-
yeah.
Well, Eddie Vedder just be making shit up. I don't see.
But that was his style.
A
He was,
bed of lettuce.
and everybody
yeah.
makes fun of it. That went all the way to Creed.
I want a double cheeseburger.
You
Yeah.
know, with Creed on their records going, and they were just imitating Eddie Vedder because Eddie Vedder had sold 16 million records. They're like, I can do this too.
Potato wave.
Hey,
Yeah.
don't stop. I'm going to punch you in the nuts. When you start making fun of that song.
Anything but Yellow Ledbetter.
But Trey loves it
Off
so much.
limits. Yellow Ledbetter's off
That's
limits for
Trey's
shit
favorite
talking.
song.
John would get ready. John would start Yellow Ledbetter when we're doing a show, and I would just unplug and walk away.
True story.
That's like somebody playing Freebird. Well, I got nothing to do for the next 10 minutes.
John could play lick for that song.
I would see Trey walking out in the crowd.
You stayed up there the last time we played it, though.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, he did.
That's only because I love you, brother. I said, I'll give him one
Bring
song.
me one more beer, please. I'll give him one. But yeah, so anyway,
Give him a
Damn.
shot of water too.
getting back on
Trey, you
topic,
make him kind of strong, don't you?
I think it's the most
Just
common.
for you and Chris.
Watch that beer. He made a fresh one.
I'm just used to.
That's only one shot there.
One shot.
I poured it in the shot glass and poured it in. There's just a lot of ice.
There you go.
So anyway, I think if you're talking grunge music, that it's got to be Nirvana. I mean, I just think I know it's the cliche thing, but
Sure.
they were grunge to me. I mean, I think they had such a unique style and sound that I don't think there was any other band that really could copy that. And it was so simple.
I'm gonna say this, and I don't know if you agree with me. You don't think like when you think of Nirvana and think of their tune.
Why don't
Blink 182 didn't.
Why don't since
No, that's
You
completely
don't
different.
think-
yeah,
No.
that, no,
No,
Blink
I
182,
know
don't
Blink
think it-
182 is punk kind of, but
Nirvana's not
they're more
punk.
punk.
They're-
Yeah.
Well,
Blink
well,
182 is
grunge.
more punk.
You can't. I
I don't
relate.
see Blink 182 ain't.
Yeah, that's not a good
Oh my
comparison.
God,
I don't think.
forget the
I say,
acronyms.
why don't we-
Forget the acronyms.
Let's
Listen
make this
to
an
the
open
music.
forum type
Listen to the
thing,
music.
since that's what
Just like
we're at now. What we're talking
like
about.
Teenage Spirit. Or what the hell?
Smells like Teen Spirit.
Smell like Teen Spirit. Think of
What'd you say? Teenage Spirit.
Teenage Spirit.
That's another one of those things he looks up on the computer late at night.
Yeah.
think of
You're gonna go to prison for that
think of
shit too.
Adam's song from Blink 182.
Yeah, and I don't.
You don't see
I
a
don't see
sort
grunge.
of resent.
I
You
don't-
don't see it.
I don't. It's a good song, but
Jesus
it's
Lord,
not
I
even
see it
close.
because y'all ain't got no vision.
I mean, I don't really. I mean,
It ain't
Nirvana
close.
to me, and I've thought about this. I was thinking about what, and there were bands, the obscure bands that probably came before them. The Melvins. I don't know if the Melvins are
Yeah.
sludge metal. That
Yeah,
influenced Nirvana a lot. That just the nastiness, distorted.
I've listened to the Melvins, and I cannot get into that at all.
I mean, it's sludge. That's what they call it. It's a sludge metal. It's just a
But I
fuzz
mean,
pedal, a guitar as loud as Buzz can play that thing.
Yeah, well, and he's the one who's got the crazy
Yeah,
hair.
yeah. And they still play live shows. I wouldn't.
Oh, I know they do.
Yeah.
I'm like 60 years old.
Yeah, and they still are sludge, man. You better wear some earplugs when you go see them, mother.
I've actually.
They don't have a boost. They
I
all
sat-
boost pedals, huh?
One night I was sitting around the computer, and I started watching the Melvins, and I think I must have watched like an hour's worth of just clicking through
Different songs.
either songs or live performances and watching it, just trying to see what people see in them, and I could.
Shout out to Scott Duke. That's his favorite band from the 90s
I-
is the Melvins. He
oh.
loves the freaking Melvins.
I did not.
I didn't-
get it.
I didn't see that.
Nothing.
He loves it.
Scott
Nothing
Duke
about
loves
their
the Melvins.
music.
I didn't see that.
Hit me. In any
They got a
kind of way.
hilarious song.
I was like,
I'm
I don't
80 and
get
she's
this. I'm like-
16.
I'm like, I don't get this stuff.
That's
This
kinda
ain't for
damn-
me.
That's the
Go to
name
jail
of
type
the
shit.
name of the song is exactly what it's about too. It's just like, what the hell are you thinking about, Buzz? Right? Or what's it? Look, Google it. It's like I'm 70 and she's 16 or something. Like that.
I ain't putting that shit on this iPad. Damn, FBI be over here in a second.
Mick Jagger can do it.
I ain't. Go
Winger.
ahead. Hey, you go ahead and knock yourself out.
Kip Winger can do it.
My name's not R. Kelly.
So Scott, maybe you need to get the Melvins another hour.
No, I gave him an hour, and I couldn't.
One
I
more.
couldn't-
You might get it now.
I couldn't get into it. I was like, I don't understand it.
I got it on my phone. How do I think about it? 'Cause
Don't
Yep.
play it.
Yep. You
can't
be
play
in
it.
jail tomorrow. I'll bail you out.
No, don't play it because we don't want to hear it. So.
It was off Houdini. Yeah, I got that whole record. Going Blind, that's what it's called. I think I'm going blind, and it says and it's talking. You know what going blind means?
Yes.
That's what it's about. And he's like, I'm 70 and she's 16.
Jesus Lord.
I think I'm going blind. It's like,
Oh my God.
oh, so you got it. Yeah.
This show is getting really weird. I like it.
Me and Scott Duke like some weird fucking music back in the day, brother. I ain't gonna lie to you.
We ought to have his ass on the show.
Now, yeah, you need to invite him up for a podcast. You talking about a
God.
wealth of information in music. He knows stuff about bands. He'll send me these random bands. You're like, what the hell did I just watch, Duke? And he's like, ain't it great? And I was like, it kind of is, really.
Damn.
Here, I'll tell
He
you.
watches Gwar, don't he?
No. The
bear went over the mountain.
It is completely like just.
Hey, I've watched Gore before, and I
And this
enjoy
is-
watching Gore.
this is what
I don't own any of their albums, but
The
if
show
I
is
see
really
something-
entertaining.
If I see something come up with Gore, like their live show, I will watch it.
10 minutes ago, Duke sent me Buckethead, amazing solo. He just sends these random things, but then
Buckethead, he played in Guns N' Roses for a while.
Oh yeah. So then,
He was the guy who had the
Kentucky Fried
Kentucky
Chicken.
Fried Chicken.
yeah,
bucket
Buckethead
on
on her.
his
Chris needs to come up with something like that.
We need to put a bucket on his head.
Even when he was in Guns N' Roses,
He's already got a bucket in his belly of KFC chicken.
I never got that either.
Oh, motherfucker.
Watching it, I was like, I don't know. Certain things just don't.
Whatever I found, you lost,
me.
pal.
You know,
Oh yeah, okay. Here's a band to check out. That is the most random thing. This is the one I'm talking about. The band's called Tropical Fuck Storm.
Where is this show going?
I know.
The song is called
I
the
got it,
song is
Scott.
called Braindrops, and Duke sent it to me.
John.
Hold on, Scott. I got
John, yeah, I know. Okay, click it. Click us out. Click us out. We done.
That's not
We
cussing
done.
if that's the name of the band,
done.
Tropical Fuck Storm. I mean,
It is. I usually had to tell Chris to watch
that's
his
just like
language.
saying, you know.
I felt like I had to tell you to watch your language.
But
more than
now-
I
It's the
did.
band's called Tropical Fuck Storm. I can't say Tropical F Storm.
but now I got to hear this shit because it's so interesting.
You want to hear it? I'll play
Yeah,
it in the microphone. Okay.
Are you gonna play it?
No,
We can't play it on the microphone.
no.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll get infringement.
they're a weird Australian band. They'll never hear this thing.
They will, okay.
We kind of got that from by their name.
Yeah.
I was riding my bike
Anyway.
Well, they'll hear it. It'll just be
and
18 hours from now.
Yeah, shout out to everybody out there. Check out Tropical Fuck Storm.
Again, language.
It's the band's name, Scott. It's not cursing if it's the band's name.
It is still cursing.
Scott, you
Hey,
know,
I got a question. If I say damn Yankees, is that cussing?
It is. Well, damn is a curse word.
Well, I mean, should I just call them Yankees? Because, I mean, nobody know what I'm talking about. If
No,
I just say
you can
Tropical
still call them by their
Storm,
name, but
their name's
that-
Tropical Fuck Storm.
I know they have a cuss word in their name.
I want to hear. What's the name of it?
Tropical Fuck.
I'm gonna start beeping.
The band. Oh, the song is called Braindrops.
Beep.
Nope. I thought you
Well,
were saying the
that's
name again.
interesting. Brain drops like mind fucked. Beep. I got a brain drop. I got a brain drop.
Yeah. So anyway, and then anyway, so I went down a rabbit hole like Scott did.
Oh, you
And
deep.
was laying there in bed after he sent me Tropical Fuckstorm, and I started listening to all their stuff, and I was like, I kind of like this band. I really
What the
do.
hell did you put in his beer tray? Jesus.
I'm not. But this is my life. This is what I mean. I'm not making this up.
It was that Jello shot.
It was.
This is the real deal. This is what we do.
He's sweating over there.
John, did you ride with Scott tonight?
Yeah, I did.
You can have another, John.
Don't eat the bright green one.
Stay away from the bright green.
Them methadone heads. They fucking got me.
Methadone.
Methadone. You got another. John just coming with all kind of words.
Yeah, it's methacaine in it. Yeah, that's what it is.
Chris.
Yeah, I'll take one.
Okay, I've hogged the microphone. I'm off. So what's your grunge band there, Carol?
So Nirvana was going to be my grunge band, but because I knew, cause
Carol's been patiently waiting for about 20 damn minutes.
yeah, no, I done.
He goes looking over at the clock, and I'm looking at it too. I'm like,
No, I'm just looking
I'm like,
at the
yeah,
clock.
I'm like-
so this is an open
we-
forum kind of thing, and I knew once John and Scott took the show, we would just run to a certain time, and
Yep.
we good because
I'm done. I've said my piece.
I think y'all have covered everything we could talk about.
well,
this weekend,
that's what
next
I
week.
said. I said, let's keep this open for
Right, and I think that was a good idea. But Nirvana would be my choice, and I figured Pearl Jam would be your choice, which was my choice in the earlier episode because Pearl Jam's a good band.
You damn right they are best band
But
ever.
Nirvana, I think, is the best grunge band.
Gotta
And that's
be.
all I
Followed
got.
by a tropical fuckstorm.
I don't, yeah,
Pearl Jam.
Sonic Youth.
Pearl Jam is a good.
Oh
band.
yeah, Sonic Youth is a good one.
I think. Yeah,
Now that band there was close to. They had
Pearl Jam is about the 100
I'm as real as Kim Deal, baby.
Best band ever.
I just wish Trey or
Watch
you
your
would
mouth.
did some of the crazy attributes or acrobatics.
acrobatics.
Yes, acrobatics. That's exactly what I wanted to do, but
Yeah.
time didn't present itself.
Chris, who would who's your most influential
You skipped
grunge
from
band?
No,
him to me.
He wants to know.
He's
what
saving
I
himself
said
for last.
Nirvana.
He was still trying to get his.
He's saving. No, Nirvana's mine. I done said mine.
Oh, well, he done talked
John
about
done
that
covered
shit.
everything I needed to talk about.
Yeah,
I mean,
what
and
shoes
Scott,
they wore,
he-
what socks they wore, and
But
Eddie
Do you have
Vedder
a
wears a
band?
size 9. He's
he
a
used to
little fella.
live with him.
He's a little fella.
Size
Do you have a
9.
band or no?
Yeah, I have a band. What's yours? But you gotta
Mine?
go first. Yeah,
Why do I have to go first?
because Carol, he don't want to talk about Nirvana anymore.
I don't need to. Nirvana's my
Well,
my
I'm
favorite grunge
interested
band.
in your
My
input.
most influential grunge band. Or grunge
Grun-
band. Grunge
grun-
band. Grum,
drum?
grunge.
You got some gum?
Like Come As You Are.
Come
all
as you.
kind of
This
other
shit's. It's been so perverted. I can't stop laughing at it.
It wasn't
Only-
even remotely perverted.
Only you with
John
the Toy
started this
Story.
shit.
So
Toy Story.
Nirvana is my choice.
Come on, me. Fucking
Nirvana
tropical
is my choice.
fuckstorm. Where else we going?
Scott, you
I
need
mean,
to
come as you are.
reprimand him.
What the fuck did I say? Oh my god!
Come as you are.
Language, Chris. God damn, man.
I said, oh my god!
You
I
just
mean,
sounded
he just
like Ralph
fucking
O'Neal
cusses all
with
the
that
time.
Ralph stuff.
we got the
Language. You
we
in
got
that
rid of
language?
that shit.
Hey, brother.
But go ahead.
It's your
So,
turn.
I'm good. Moving
Nirvana.
along to Yep.
We got two Nirvana so far.
I don't think you
and
can
a
beat
Sonic
Nirvana.
Youth from the back.
I don't think you can beat
Hey,
Nirvana and grunge.
Well, influential is Nirvana would be one of the most influential.
I mean, I
Do you know
think
how
that-
many albums Nirvana has sold?
Albums they have sold.
How many-
How many
how many
albums
they
do
write?
they have?
Three, I
Three
think.
albums.
They had
Yeah.
3 albums out
Three.
before Kurt Cobain killed himself,
They sold.
or before
No, we didn't.
More than 10
Yeah,
million.
before Courtney Love killed him.
More easy now. More than 10 million.
More than
Yeah,
10 million.
yeah, guarantee you
way
that.
more than that.
More than 11.
Yep, more than 11.
How many would you say? Because I know you know the answer.
Well, I don't know the exact number, but it's,
Hold on a sec. Chris, how many would you say they sold?
I'm gonna
Wrong.
say 25 million.
20.
you would be wrong. They have sold. At last count I saw was about 75 million.
Ooh, that's
Gee,
Jeez.
Louise.
I was
Wow.
a little bit off. By
Yeah.
about,
That's a
70
lot of
million,
albums sold
60.
for 3 albums.
Yeah.
Oh, and they were 3 good albums, though, man. I mean,
They were.
never mind.
Do you know how many albums Pearl Jam has sold?
170 kagillion.
No, no, you way off.
60 million.
I mean,
About 90 million.
yeah, they got
90?
to. I mean, they've had so many records. So they
Yeah,
They-
they've had a lot
they a
more
good
records than
band.
Nirvana.
Yeah.
They got, I think, 12 records out, I think.
something like that.
But yeah, but
Pearl Jam?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a lot of
Man,
records out.
that's a good band.
Well, I obviously ain't listened to earlier shit.
No, the earliest was 10.
2000.
You hadn't listened to the later stuff. What it is.
2010. Yeah, it was 2010.
Yeah, the first album, the first album
Well,
was 10.
it was
I'm sure
2000.
you heard that because they had
It was
He Would
2000.
Flow and
Alive,
Jeremy, and
Jeremy, all that.
It was 2010 and a half, actually, but
Yield. You probably hadn't ever listened to Yield, but you've heard some songs off of Yield.
This could be the end. Dun, dun, dun. What is that song? Dun, dun.
You got to be better than that.
I don't know what that is.
Hell!
that's right. That's right, said
Are
Fred.
you
I
making
think.
man,
up? Are you
stick-
making up songs?
Stick to your Lars impression.
Right, said Fred.
They sold 26 million fucking albums off. John don't want to fucking take a shot, huh? You didn't think tonight when you come over here, you weren't gonna fucking take a shot, huh?
All right, it's over. It's over.
Yeah,
The
that's
bartender,
I went
the
to
bartender
the arm.
All
has
right, so
cut
wait a
you
minute.
off.
We're still
You
waiting
have
on
been
you two
cut off.
guys to throw the grunge.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
they
well,
hold
let me
them
just
back.
say real quick that I don't really have an influence
I thought you said
from
Sonic
grunge.
Youth.
No, I knew who they were and I liked them. And just like Nirvana and Soundgarden, like I loved the music, but I wasn't influenced by it because I was a guitar player that liked the old bluesy stuff and the southern classic rock stuff like that. So that didn't really appeal to me as a guitar player.
I loved it too, man. I love
So-
Skinner and Allman Brothers and all that stuff, but I'm telling you, man, when 10 hit, it changed my
Sure.
life.
Oh no,
Changed
definitely
my guitar playing.
Not saying that I didn't appreciate it and like envy it, but I wasn't influenced and want to be like, oh, I want to be like Mike McCready. Like I didn't.
God,
I
I
still
still wanna be
wasn't.
like
I
Mike
still wasn't
McCready.
feeling that. I loved it and it was great, but I was still stuck in the old days. That's just because of where I was brought up, and when I got to that point and that music came out, it was cool and I liked it. Like I said, I didn't like turn it off. And
I'm the same way you were, because I was a
You loved Motley Crue, and you still love Motley Crue.
well, yeah, I do, and I love that type of music. I mean, I just like all the flash and flare and the playing, especially like the guitar playing. It was just like it was.
Well, you got to pick your battles.
It was like.
But I was still stuck in Guns N' Roses because Slash was one of my guys because Slash is a bluesy player because Slash wasn't at like a CC DeVille. Like CC was. I'm going super commercial, but CC
Yeah,
DeVille
was
was 100 miles an hour, Nuno
he was
Betancourt
more
type
like a
crazy shit.
noodler.
Tell you what, son.
Noodler.
Well, I tell you
Oh,
what,
Noodler.
son.
what? A
A
noodler?
noodler.
Noodler.
We're doing a noodler?
Yeah.
I tell you what, son. Take it from a fellow who tried
that
to learn
was
it.
scaling.
You try to learn the solo to Nothing But a Good Time, and you're gonna run into some trouble.
Yeah,
But you did it though.
but that's my.
I faked it.
Well, it shit sounded good though.
Well, you hit the right notes, you can do whatever you want between them,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It's just what he did between in there was he would go. I go.
Well, that's what CC does, I think, too.
Yeah.
No,
I would say CC's a good guitarist.
They're probably never the same twice, are they?
Yeah. I mean, it's
And it's just like when we went and saw, Motley Crue and Def Leppard on the stadium tour, and Poison opened up. And Poison did a great job. And CC did like a kind of ode to Eddie Van Halen just because Eddie Van Halen
Right.
passed. And so he did Eruption, but he didn't.
yeah. You can't play Eruption.
He
like
didn't
Eddie Van
play
Halen played.
Eruption like it's played. He improvised.
Sure.
You could hear the main parts.
Well, and if you try to do it just like he did it, everybody's going to compare you.
Yeah,
So you got to change it up a little bit. You got to just say, "This is my version of
In
it."
between, it was like he was noodling. It is like it was
What was it?
noodling.
What does it sound like though?
Yeah,
I thought it was
Thank you.
scaling. It's not scaling. Scales.
Scaling? No,
Scaling.
no, not
so anyway-
necessarily.
but I
Take
mean,
out the
so
fish.
I mean, it was. That's what I'm saying is CC's one of those type of players that is he. I don't know. I think he's a good guitarist, but
He's an excellent guitar.
Oh yeah, I don't think you could ever. I would never disparage him as being a guitar player.
I'm gonna go off subject. I'm sorry, but
Well, I think
can
we
see
already
it.
also.
I can see it.
It's
I
supposed
can
to
see it
be.
in my mind, but
It's
John
supposed to be-
hated playing
Fuck
fucking
yeah, I
Papa
hated
Roach.
it. I hated that shit because you tried to play
You're not the only one.
that you had to try to play it as fast as you could possibly play it, which is the hardest thing to play anyway, over and over.
And let me show you what John be doing. Look, he like,
Yeah, I would get stuck. It was like I had a kick. Like no. Oh my god! Would you please slow the fuck down?
and I thought he was turning to me like, "Yeah, this shit's rocking.
No,
I'm gonna speed up more."
No, and I wouldn't be able to breathe.
But the greatest, the greatest solo I ever heard you play was Jimmy Eat World. So, you would eat that.
Oh, I
shit.
love that.
That's a
great
John
solo.
would eat that shit's lunch.
I got one pretty good.
Eat its lunch.
I would eat Jimmy's lunch.
He was eat Jimmy's lunch.
And he'd be ready for that shit too. Be like, yeah.
Okay, so trying to get back on topic again about grunge bands.
Yeah, because we have plenty of time.
Yeah. So what was yours, Scott? I forgot.
Well, I didn't name mine yet, but
I want to hear it then
Yeah.
before I talk
Trey,
mine.
could I have
I-
one more drink since this?
absolutely.
Yeah, bring me one too, bartender. Make that a double.
I would say mine would be.
What the hell is going on with the bartender?
Bartender's drunk. All right, Scott, tell us.
Well, mine would be, and we had this in the early episode talking about
A red Stag and Coke.
favorite bands and all, and
Do we need to christen this part?
no,
Oh,
we
okay,
already
okay.
cursed them, so no.
Third segment.
But I think mine would be Alice in Chains. Just
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And see, I still look at Alice and love them, and they came from that same thing.
well,
They were a
and-
hard rock band. They weren't a grunge band. They were straight up hard rock.
Well,
They were
and-
closer to Metallica than they were to Nirvana. That's
Well,
what I'm saying.
I
A
think
lot of
so
those bands
too. But
were.
I'm saying
think
if
so.
they were lumped in with the grunge,
All those bands were.
All their
I know.
tuning was in
Candlebox came out of
Even
Seattle.
the drums was in drop D. I
Man,
mean,
they just,
they're just so damn thick.
whatever it was, there were a lot of great bands that were based in Seattle that came out. We talked about Soundgarden, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains.
Yeah, well, I
Candlebox came out later, right at the end of it. I mean, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, you got the Melvins that people, are still have a good following.
They had that Methacane up there. All them great bands come from up there.
No, they had some of that Hoogie Badoogie Ditch Bank weed they were smoking, I believe is what it was.
That's right. You saw Pearl Jam in the background protecting the trees. You fucking touch these trees.
But then, another band then that I think that I love out of that era that I don't think is really grunge. I think they were more of a pop rock band. But I love
Thank you, sir.
STP2. They were out of San Diego,
who?
Stone Temple Pilots.
Yeah, that was out of
yeah,
San
yeah,
Diego.
STP.
That's right. That's right.
They weren't Seattle, so I didn't. But you got to mention them if you talking about influential bands on me. That kind of gets lumped into grunge.
Yeah,
Is
they were
Stone
at the
Temple
top.
Pilots? That's motherfuckers. But guitar playing, bass playing.
What was the guitar?
musicianship-
What was the guitarist name?
Oh God, they're two brothers, Deemy. I can't even pronounce his name.
But
Dean.
now that you mentioned the bass player,
The bass player, he
feel
wrote all the songs.
Yeah.
Yes,
He
but,
wrote the guitar
but
parts
dude,
and the bass
his
parts.
damn bass parts was insane.
Scott,
and like
you
when
can tell
Scott
that.
plays them, it really shows. Like tripping on the hole in the paper heart. I mean, he is
Up and down
everywhere.
that
He is
stick, yeah.
everywhere. And when Scott plays, I'm like, how the fuck is he playing that? It is crazy.
And it might, I don't know, but Scott's a bass player. It sounds hard to me. It's just like I tell Duke a lot of times, that drumming sounds good. He's like, it really isn't that hard to drum. And I was like, well, damn, I like the way it sounds. It sounds good to me.
Give him a snare and a hi-hat.
Yeah. And he's like, he's just riding the shit out of that. And I was like, well, damn, I like it. But what you think, Scott? What do you about his bass playing?
Oh, no, I think he's an awesome bass player.
He is everywhere.
Yeah.
Like Wicked Garden, that's
Interstate Love Song, he heats it up
Oh,
on that
yeah.
thing.
well,
too.
he's kind of relaxed on that song, but every other
No,
song,
when he goes
Yeah,
up,
no,
boop, 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 boop.
most Stone Temple Pilots songs he is getting down.
very
I mean,
engaged.
yeah.
Yeah, he drives the band, and he really does. The guitar is kind of
sex type thing, he really gets off on that shit.
I mean, that's a great band right there too.
Well,
Probably my
all the
second
songs.
favorite band.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
Yeah.
the bass playing in Stone Temple Pilots is
it's crazy,
it's
insane.
yeah. It's when I listen to it, I'm like,
Dean and Al.
He does some crazy shit. With
Like
it.
Trey, I
brothers.
think.
Chris has
What
got
we
good
playing
gal.
acoustic? What was it? Jay Michaels and we did. It was Tripping on the Hole in a Paper Heart, and Trey looked over there. Was like, God damn, look at Scott, and he's like, dum, 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 dum.
Man, you need to let me play that
That's
one on
because-
electric.
that's
I can
because
eat
right-
that one up too.
That's because right before we played that, Scott went over beside the thing.
He was
He
doing
got
the old
that drink.
stoop. The old stoop.
The old stupid poor, stupid poor.
I love that.
He
song.
said, I might fuck this shit up. Yeah. God damn, I'm awesome.
It worked though. It worked. He was over there just going crazy.
So you don't have any band other than like it, not even STP or Soundgarden or Alice in Chains that you really dug more that you.
no,
Because I mean that's weird. I mean
because I loved it so much, but I was into the guitar and the tone. So like
man, I'm telling you,
Ugly Kid Joe, I fucking loved him
and
when
I'll tell you
when that came out.
I'll tell
And
this
that was
to
a little
everybody: the tone I always chased in my life being a guitar player, and is the guitar tone that Al has, or Dean has, on Interstate Love Song.
Ooh, I
Okay.
love
That's
that.
son of a bitch. No, it's just the crunch, the crunch that he has in the chords. And I've always described this to Duke because I talk more about him with tone. And he talks to me about drums. To me, it's like it sounds like he's dragging a chain. It's like it's so
Yeah.
bright and crisp, and the crunch just you can feel even though he's playing a chord, it's like you can feel every string, but it's distorted.
Right.
And it's just the perfect tone to me on that song of the chords he's playing, not necessarily
But I'm still back in Frank Hannon and Tesla.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, and that was great tone too. I mean, but that right there is what I've always chased. And he played a Sovtek. I researched through the thing. He bought a Sovtek and recorded with a Sovtek.
And I have
on that
never
thing.
heard of that shit.
It's a Russian amp.
I didn't ever heard of Booger amps.
Bogner's.
Whatever. the fuck it was. And we was playing a big show at
The
Max.
Noisy Cricket.
It was going to be a big show. You still own Max, by the way. And I think it was one of our first
this was
shows.
way back then,
yeah,
like
when
17 or something.
Trey first come aboard, we had this big thing, Consume, featuring Trey Davis, whatever. And you bought this fucking Noisy Cricket.
The
amp.
lunchbox.
I swear to God, it was like 12 by 4.
It's a great amp. I still got it.
Junk.
But holy shit,
Crap.
dude, that thing was like a whole boost pedal in that whole little box. It was loud
Someone
as
just like a
shit.
freaking nest of
You don't
wasps.
remember that?
I remember
that little tiny ass amp. The noise that come out of that thing. He was like, John, you got to turn that shit down. He's like, okay.
Then I turn it right back up when he turned
Yeah.
the
And we had to, no,
All three.
I finally had to
you-
get him to turn his amp backwards facing the wall.
Hell no. You, William, and John was every song. One of you would go back there.
It was always
One of
them.
you.
It was always him. It was never me.
And by the
We had
end
a
of the,
shitty sound guy. I mean, what I mean?
at the end of the show, everybody's amps was fucking maxed out. Because there was a competition with it.
Well, that's because somebody would turn it up, so somebody else would have to turn it up to get over that.
Exactly. But the
Next
funny
thing you know, I walk
is,
out front to check the sound again in the middle of the show. I'm like, what the hell happened?
Well, that's what
All
I'm
we hear is
saying.
guitars.
So now I got to go turn my
I'm
amp
out there
up.
behind the drums watching this shit happen, and I'm laughing. I'm like, look at this shit, right? Look at John. He's sneaking over there, turn that shit up.
Yeah.
Oh, look, William's going to the background. It was just I was like, this is crazy. I said, I bet the front house is fucked up right now.
It was.
I'll tell you.
That's what I would do. And I'm like, why don't y'all just communicate with each other instead of damn trying to?
And then
It'd be like,
they rag
no,
Scott's ass because they can't hear each other. They're like, God damn, Scott, you're playing the wrong chords. Scott, like, what the fuck y'all talking? I can't even hear myself back here. That shit was
I'll tell
funny.
you, I had that. This was when Travis was singing, so it was a while back. It was when we played at the Darlington racetrack, like with
Oh, we're driving. Sister Hazel.
yeah. So I'd had that fucking big ass Marshall forever.
It's the 412 story.
Oh yeah. I'd always have to run a break on that son bitch because it was a 100-watt Marshall. I knew it was too big to play in any damn club we did, but I wanted the son bitch, So I had it, and I was like, "This is my fucking chance. I'm gonna turn that damn thing. I'm outside in this damn 100,000 seat place. I'm gonna let this motherfucker eat. So I fucking dimed it, got ready to play. I did it at home practice. Got my tone right. I was like, oh, it's hurting. It's so loud. I hit like shit, and Carlos looked at me. He's like, you got to turn that motherfucker down. And I was like, how can you ever use this thing? I can't even use it here. You know what the hell? And he was like, you got to turn that motherfucker down.
And William had his little bullshit.
William had like a 1x12.
The 112, yeah. So I think
It worked like half the time. The foot pedals didn't work on it. I had this big old fucking 4x12.
William was sitting there blinking.
So I have an issue now. I've got a 412 orange cabinet. I've never used it on stage because I got the 212. Because I know if I put that 412, you got to boost it to get that tone out of it. The 212 you can do.
The key is get a good brake, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I don't want to run a brake. I want to run it full.
Get a Z brake, and you can dime that thing.
No,
a 412 gives you more bass. That's all I'm saying. And I've tried it. The other one that Chris is talking about, the noisy cricket, they call it.
Yeah.
The booger.
That one was a 2x10, and it had a lot of mid-range punch.
A lot of mid-range.
That
Yeah,
fucking
I know
thing.
because I had to go out front and try to get that shit in.
I told
in the mix.
Scott, I said, turn your bass all the way to me if I could just hear you. God bless.
Getting back on topic.
Chris's monitor's got nothing but
the
kick drum and bass guitar.
That's it.
Getting back on topic, the reason I had that 2x10 was because Mike McCready played 2x10s.
Oh, okay.
Back to the grunge. See, we brought this thing back full circle, boys.
There we go.
Ah.
Good show.
All right, we got to move along. We're running out of time. Scott, what you got?
I already said mine.
Oh, you already said yours.
We on you.
Just waiting on you, Chris.
Yeah, I mean,
All right, mine is the Foo Fighters.
All right, thanks. All right, good night, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for joining in.
Yeah.
Foo
We are
Fighters.
done. It was a good show.
Foo Fighters, 1994, baby.
Yeah, but
So that's
the
when,
Foo Fighters grunge.
no, they were not grunge. They were like,
I know.
that's not grunge.
Like
That's
progressive rock, maybe, or just rock.
Rock, I mean,
Right here.
Aggressive fairy.
Right here. Best grunge bands ever produced.
Yeah, no, I think
Yeah,
grunge changed to something else.
you used Bing to search that, not Google.
I fucking had Google. I fucking...
That's a Yahoo search engine.
That shit's wrong.
He's looking at aggressive fairy bands.
What? Aggressive fairy band.
Fairy.
Anyway, okay. So you doing the Foo Fighters?
I was.
They're
well,
not grunge,
Now
but
y'all
anyway.
talking
They
shit
had a
about
drummer that was played in a grunge band,
Yeah.
so maybe we can tie that in.
Yeah, you can tie that in. That's where he's
it.
going.
Okay, I'll
with it.
do this one.
Okay.
Presidents of the United States of America.
They were from Seattle. Peaches.
Bam. We'll do that. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Peaches, baby. I'm talking about peaches. I'm talking about peaches on the tree. I'm talking about peaches in a crate that we're selling to your neighborhood coming soon. Did that make sense?
No,
Nope.
That's
Not
what I'm
a
talking
bit.
about.
That's okay.
No sense at all.
not a bit. I was wondering if you're going to work for Max Pride or something.
They came out in 1993, and I remember I was watching.
The peaches.
No, it was at the Kurt Loder.
Later.
Kurt Loder.
Loiter.
Kurt Loder.
Loader.
Court
Kurt
Loiter.
Loder.
Kurt
Court.
Loder.
He did a little message, and he was like, back to it was I think it was
Nirvana.
no, it was some kind
Back
of
to the
TV.
original grunge
Anyway,
band.
I seen these three guys on here, you know, peaches come in a can. I was like, that is the fucking greatest song in the world. That is the simplest, greatest song. And,
No,
you know,
she's Lump.
What there?
Hey, look,
Oh, shut up! I love
Lump.
Lump too.
That's the
Oh
best
my
song.
God, you cited me just now. She's
Sorry.
Lump. She's Lump. I love that song too. Just look how simple that shit is, though.
I'm telling you, I love all that '90s music, but I still don't think that's grunge.
It's not.
No,
I
no, I don't think so either.
Both of these topics come out of Google as grunge.
And I think it got lumped. I think there were really only a few bands. That grunge term that just got.
I went for Foo Fighters. Google
I mean,
said it was grunge, and then I went to Presidents of the United States.
band that
Maybe it was because it was close to the same time that they tried to
time
to
frame.
put it in the same.
Yeah,
Sonic
it was,
Youth is about the only band that
Yeah.
I've heard that I can say, okay,
And-
I can see that
And
relationship. to
the
Nirvana.
Pixies maybe.
The Pixies.
these
I thought
bands,
about the Pixies.
they
They
came
were
out in
from
the same
Seattle.
time frame
Right.
as when grunge kind of took off. I wouldn't consider the President of the United States
You know
just
what?
grunge.
Just choose Nirvana.
You know
man.
what? Why don't you
Soundgarden.
guys
I mean,
work
that's
for
really
Google
it. I mean,
and change
they
their
got
minds?
a freaking. If you go to XM Radio, the grunge channel is called Lithium. And you know what they got that name from?
Right. Yep.
From Nirvana's second album. I mean, the Lithium, or the song Lithium. I mean, it's Nirvana is grunge. I think that's basically.
Well, I couldn't talk about Nirvana.
You sure you could?
I mean, I just
you go,
think-
well, what's your
So
favorite
sometimes
one?
when you think about what is grunge, you have to think about what is a band that could have toured with Nirvana
and it would, yeah,
that would have fit,
It would've
in
fit.
that show, as for the fans, like who,
Sonic Youth.
right?
And then there were
Pixies.
other bands like Mudhoney and Pixies.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you, in my mind, you think about it, was there another band that a mainstream band that we talked about? We discussed all the big hitters in the early '90s. I think. What other band sounded like Nirvana really out of that?
Tribe Called Quest.
Would you?
Tupac.
This is an interesting question, and I really don't know if they were grunge or not. But was
Nope.
He has answered your question.
Rage Against the Machine?
No.
No,
Yeah,
they had
no.
their own.
Yeah.
They had their own little thing going too. That was a great band.
It wasn't a close to grunge at all.
Not in the. Not,
Too political
Yeah.
to
Too
me.
political. Yeah, well, they were. They was very. Did you know?
Maybe some early Soundgarden was a little bit there, but they got a little bit
What was the
more.
guitarist's name?
Tom Morello.
Tom Morello.
You know, he was in the Navy or the Army or something. He was in one of the branches, and
Yeah, he was a cook or something.
well, I guess he felt
cooked
some
some
type of
mean-
way about the military, and he got with Zach De La Rocha, and that's Zach De La Rocha was from overseas, and he
Where's
was
he
like,
from?
huh?
From overseas.
Yeah,
Where's he from overseas?
Overseas.
I really don't know.
Like you talking Bermuda or like Cuba?
Are you drunk?
Hold on, I'll get you.
I think Chris is drunk.
I gotta put
Bartender,
microphone on.
cut him off.
I gotta-
Don't let my white duds and pleasant demeanor fool you. I too have been known to violate the statutes of man and not a few of the laws of the Almighty.
That means you're
Oh
cut
my
off.
God.
Chris, you are cut off.
Oh yeah, and they were screaming trees.
Oh yeah,
Zach De La Rocha.
I nearly
Who was-
lost you.
who was the push your little daisies and make them come up? Who was that?
Look, I'm trying.
Totally not grunge, but for some
say-
reason that just
okay.
popped in my head. When
The
I said
only- I
every
just-
time I say Pixies, I think of that song, and I don't think
There
that's
was
them.
another band that kind of, and they weren't even from Seattle, but it had the same
Oh,
vibe.
shit, he was
as
he
Nirvana.
was Mexican American.
Mexican American.
Here we go.
Carol's getting worried. We did this
I'm
one
not
episode.
getting worried.
He had to
Just a
edit
click
like
on-
a whole hour of shit. Mexican American.
There we go.
Hello, tacos and vinos and margaritas.
All right.
Language.
That's our
Language.
show. That's our show for tonight. We like to thank our guest, John Bird,
Y'all don't
being
think-
here.
Y'all don't think? Come on, man.
No.
Rage Against the Machine is
It's not great.
borderline grunge.
No way.
No, no.
All right,
No.
I googled and thought about this.
Disagree.
Google kind of helped me. The only band that kind of fits that they're not from Seattle is Smashing Pumpkins. They kind of sound a little bit like Nirvana. The whole little vibe they put off.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That I mean,
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean,
Well, there's
somewhat,
a
yeah.
vampire.
man, that's a great.
No.
That was a very angst-ridden song, but it was not teen spirited. It just wasn't.
You know somebody else who's from Seattle that's not grunge at all?
Who?
Heart.
Heart.
There's a lot of bands
Yeah.
from Seattle.
Yeah, I mean that was just a great.
I had no idea. I mean, just
I didn't
You
know
know,
they were
Jimi
from
Hendrix
Seattle.
is from Seattle.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what he told me.
In my dream, when I smoked that freaking methacaine,
There I was.
there I was, me and Jimi Hendrix. Hey, brother. The wind cries merry.
All right, all right.
All right, baby.
I was feeling all right.
Oh, we got to start pumping the brakes here.
Yep.
But hey, John,
Now let's get into something else.
if we do, that's another hour.
I think that's good. John, you want to?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Well, wait a minute. We ain't ready for that yet. I'm trying to do something here.
Scott, don't let Chris put the
Well,
brakes on
nobody,
you.
everybody don't
He's gonna
know
let
John
John
Bird.
He's gonna let John close this show.
Well,
Yeah, let's-
we want to know a little about John Bird. John Bird,
Yes.
what's your past and present? Go ahead, real quick.
You got 20 seconds.
What you
Yeah.
used to do? What you used to do in Hartsville? What what do you do
countdown
now?
starts now. Go ahead. And I'll keep a running time.
anyway, so-
20, 19, 18.
No, it's
7.
So anyway, I've done many hats. I owned Max Lounge forever.
Max Lounge. Love
Yep.
Max Lounge.
Owned Max Lounge until 2017.
Paid us less than any other band.
Yep,
Oh,
paid
that's
us
right.
less. The Buzz, come on, millions of dollars. Villanova, millions of dollars.
Hey, I did bring some great bands to Hartsville.
Hey, consume
Consumed $2.
$600.
Well, I mean, I got
Plus,
my
you got to
commission.
pay your own tabs.
Yeah, so we played Max when John owned it. When he was part of the band, he was in the band playing, and we all made $20, and he bought a new car the next week.
True, only partially true.
All right, he bought a used car the next week.
Yeah, used car. Yeah, so that was it. And I played music with y'all knuckleheads for many years until
Well, you played with us. You played with
Satan's Cowboys.
Satan's Cowboys.
What's y'all's? I love the when y'all start handing out beer.
Bush Beer, baby.
Bush beer.
That's Bush
I was
Beer.
there for that, so I'm like, they're about to play Bush beer. I'm about to get fucked up.
John and
Hurry up, throw
Cal,
me
John
a
and Cal
shot.
come out with a big cases of Bush beer.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my thing. Played guitar forever. Can't play anymore because I got some health problems with hand stuff too. Wish I could play with y'all. It wasn't like we. It just
I feel like you still got a show or two in you.
Oh yeah, I hope so. I hope so. And I actually talked with Duke about that. I hope when I get through with this treatment by the end of the summer, maybe we can put a show together. That's what I told him. We can.
We'll all get together.
Oh, that's what I'm talking
put
about.
Duke's drums. We'll just
Well,
make one big show
It's
out of it.
easy to do it with Satan's Cowboys because nobody expects much out of us.
I love you guys.
Well, that's why you.
As Cal, he comes
It's
out
just like
with a
Nirvana,
damn.
less is more,
he comes
you know?
out with gnome outfits and shit. He
Gnome.
comes down from the ceiling. He comes from the under the ground. You never know where he
Under
comes
the
from.
ground.
That's
I love
true.
it.
So hopefully by the end of the summer we'll be able to do something with my hands, get back to feeling right, and that's what I was like. Hey, we can get Soon can play with us, and maybe I can play a set like we did last time. Because I mean,
Yep.
I can play some of that stuff in my sleep.
We miss you, man.
Oh, I miss y'all. I mean, I wish I could play. I do miss it. I tell you what I don't miss is y'all talked about getting home at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like,
What?
John, hey, by the way, John loves
ma-
hanging the lights.
That's mainly
y'all
Chris.
still got them stupid ass
We-
tarps.
Hell yeah, I got a tarp.
You ever used them?
No.
John, don't start any trouble tonight.
yeah,
Don't start.
yeah. Hey, Scott getting offended over
I am gonna use them though.
Not if I see
And
them
damn it, if
motherfuckers.
I-
I'm not even. I'm
if
not
I-
even in the band anymore.
if
If I
I'd
see
thought
them son
about
of
it-
bitches,
If
I'm
I'd
taking them
have thought
to the
about
dump.
it, I would have hung the fucking tarp up tonight.
John, do you remember when you told me, just leave him right there? he told me, he's like, accidentally leave him right there. He won't even notice.
I'm trying to leave my fucking
Scott,
tarps. I
Scott
know.
had drank his handle of Jim Beam. We were packing up. They were all fucked up. And me and Chris were tearing everything down. I was like, just leave the fucking tarps. Laying right
that was
there.
in Camden at
Yeah.
the biker rally thing.
What was so bad about the tarps, though?
Oh my God.
Because they were
John
heavy.
hates them. Yes.
Because they were heavy
and
as shit.
John
they
does
serve
not
no
like the
purpose.
tarp.
What we're gonna hang a big black tarp behind us that weighs 500 pounds for what?
Well, Scott was like, that's a credible looking backdrop.
Yeah,
You know,
it's-
black.
If Scott had his wish, we'd have like pyros and shit going on behind us.
True.
You know, playing in Apple Annie's and burn the fucking place down, shooting off fucking fire cannons and
No,
a bar with 50
Hey, he
people on
wanted
it.
pyros every time the show starts here, but we had to tell him no.
That's not a bad idea.
We're
That's not a
gonna,
bad
See,
idea.
we're gonna do
See?
that on a different show.
But let's just
See?
we can do them smaller.
We can.
Pyros are great anywhere.
We'll try that on
Thank
on
you.
another show.
Troy.
Y'all
I got you.
Try
Where's
it
your
on me.
cigarette lighter? I like a little pyro right now.
That
But
ain't
John's
good
our
enough for
brother.
Scott.
Man, we appreciate you coming on the show tonight, dude.
Love
Man,
y'all, fellas. We'll do it again.
you feel the, yeah, I feel it, man. I feel the love. I missed you in them tight pants. Always wearing
I ain't no
tight
skinny
pants.
jean wearing motherfucker. Hold up. These are
ahead.
just normal blue jeans.
Oh no, they're tight.
Yep. Yep. There's a slight bulge. Now, not
Now
big
you're
bulge.
looking at the wrong spot.
Oh yeah.
He's looking at the tight blue jeans. That's what he's looking for.
Well, we appreciate everybody for listening tonight. Thank you, John, for coming on. Thank
John
you,
Bird.
LL Cool
Thank you,
Trey,
John.
for slinging out the live
Hey,
bass
what
tonight.
can I
night.
get for you there, stranger?
Hey, I'll take one more beer while we tear down this show. Or y'all tear down the show.
This is Guillotines and Guitars, and we're out.